happy Sunday to you.
Yeah, you're going to love this show.
Yeah.
There's a clue, little subtle clue.
Tiny subtle one.
Yeah, it's a clearance show for the next 3 hours. And honestly, the prices of the plants is ridiculous. This cordyline is under £7. Exactly. But I know.
We're limited.
Have you ordered already? Good.
We're limited on some things as well. The Agapanthus in front of me is definitely limited. A handful of people will get hold of that today. Loads of people are multi-ordering that on Thursday.
So honestly, it's we only do clearance shows about twice a year. It's a brilliant opportunity to get some real bargains. Pretty much everything is fully winter hardy, so you don't have to worry about that. You don't necessarily have to plant everything straight away either. But there are a few things that you may need to know. First of all, you might need to know who we are. So my name's Shaun Ryan.
I am Bex Edwards.
The person in our ear is a lovely Stu. He's in the gallery. And we are with you for the next 3 hours, and we would love you to be part of the show as well. But to get the best deals, to get all of the savings, there will be a special offer code that will appear on the screen. I think it's YGTV 4624.
Yes, it is.
Do you know how I remember that? Because 46 is Bex's age.
Hey!
You don't mind me saying that, do you?
I don't mind at all.
It's better than me at 55. Anyway, then we have got a free gift as well.
Yeah, brilliant free gift. This is our favourite free gift, isn't it? It's a pack of our Blooming Fast soluble fertiliser. It's high in NPK, all the trace elements. It's like a vitamin pill for your plants.
And that will make 100 litres of premium plant food. Just 1 teaspoon in, you normally put it in a watering can. That's just to show the colour.
Drink it.
So one of those in a 5 litre watering can, and it will feed pretty much everything from your fruit, your veg, your perennials, your house plants. You're probably not going to use a lot of the feed during the winter months, but it's in a bag there. It will store for many, many months, if not years, and it is worth $4.99. Free sachet with every single order. Okay, so not necessarily every single purchase, but every single order. What else do we need to say? Oh, I know.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is a good one as well. Yeah, you need to get your order, excuse me, to over £40. We'll cover that postage cost for you. You just have to enter the code. That's what unlocks the savings, the double ups, the buy one get ones, but also that free postage as well. Yeah. Postage is capped at $6.99, so if your order is under 40, you only pay it once. But let's get it over 40.
But what we'd love is for you to be part of the show. If there's anything you particularly want to see, or if there's anything you want to know more information about, then you can email us ygtv@ugarden.com. You can also join the live chat on Facebook and on YouTube as well. And we'd love you to send pictures, but most importantly, we want you to save money. And the deals today, I mean, I've placed 2 orders last week. They are absolutely incredible. They really are. But you can get ahead, shop the website, have a look at all the bargains. We did do our first clearance show on Thursday. We've already had a couple of sellouts, just to warn you.
Yeah, unfortunately, the lavender...
That's gone, hasn't it? Yeah.
That's gone. The hollyhocks, unfortunately, they've gone. I think that's it, though. I think we've got stock of everything else. The next ones that are going to sell out, though, Lady in Red, that's on our favourite table, the Physocarpus, and this Agapanthus. Those are going to be the next ones to go, potentially today.
And that Agapanthus, in fact, we'll give you the details straight away because they're huge, basically. Now, yours will probably not arrive with the flower, and this is just a bit random, but it shows you what it will look like next year. But it's huge. An Agapanthus of this size, I mean, my nursery, not my nursery, but a nursery near where I live, they were selling Agapanthus this size in summer, in flower, admittedly, £50 to £60.
Yeah, easy.
I mean, that's many years old, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's very, very well established, which means that next year, you're probably going to get multiple flowers from this. It's not just going to be a single one. You should get multiple flowers. They're beautiful. They're really easy to look after. And yeah, they last for many, many years.
Yeah, and these are the really tall ones, about a metre or so in terms of height. But we've only got a few left. We are limited stock. Somebody on Thursday bought, I think, 5 of those in one go. So if you do want to snap up the final few handfuls, I know sometimes it's tempting just to wait and think, well, I'll get my order to £40, then check out. But if you've really got your eye on those, maybe go for 3 of them and then get your free postage. But do it now, because we will be eating our invisible hats if it doesn't sell out. Now, for me, the best value item in the show is this cordyline. It's huge, isn't it?
It is very, very big.
The price is tiny.
It's one that both Shaun and I have got, in actual fact, and it's a beautiful one because you've got the shades of green included, but they are variegated, so you get various different colours, creamy yellows, buttery creams, and also that limey coloured green as well.
I mean, it is magnificent. And again, I'd want to go for a pair of these, you know, either side of your front door, your back door, just in maybe a courtyard, a balcony. They are just magnificent. Very sought after. The only thing we say, we do class them as winter hardy. It's got the badge of being winter hardy on our website, which means you've got that lifetime guarantee. But if it's really cold, and we're talking, you know, lots of snow and frost, just tie it up like this. And this is how it'll actually arrive. Just tie it up, and that just protects the crown in the centre. Put maybe a fleece over it. If you haven't got a fleece, even something like a pillowcase would do. But just give it protection in the absolute coldest of nights. And do you know, I was actually... I mean, $6.99 is incredible. I was actually just looking at some fun facts about cordyline, actually, randomly, in bed last night. And when they actually... If there's ever like bushfires in like countries like New Zealand and they get destroyed, they are still a plant that can actually grow back from the roots, so they can really survive. Even not that we're going to have a bushfire in this country, hopefully, but they are an extraordinary plant, one of the oldest on the planet as well. Really, yeah. Like, you know, they go back such a long time, and they do flower occasionally. But they have to be mature, and it doesn't happen very often. But
they can look amazing when they do.
But to me, you don't need that, do you?
And they make the perfect centrepiece, and we've got a photo to show this, actually. Thank you, Tony, for sending in your pictures, because what he said is, look at my centrepiece here. It's a different variety, but obviously you can see that cordyline, how it really stands up proud in the centre.
What a lovely display that is, Tony.
It is a gorgeous display. I mean, this is container gardening at its best, and I just want you to spot all of the Yew Garden products included in there, can you? Look at all the pots for starters, the Torinos, the Aprils.
That looks like you bought the Helibor collection as well, don't you think?
Yeah, there's so much included in there. Miner's Merlot, it looks like he's got the perennial collections going on.
Nandina is out the front.
Yeah.
Can't quite see.
The Red Baron Bloodgrass is just there, look as well.
That's a Yew Garden, isn't it?
Tony, that looks so beautiful.
And that cordyline, it looks like the Charlie boy we were thinking.
I love it. Yeah, it looks like Charlie boy, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
so pretty. Well done, Tony.
Tony, you've just really demonstrated that, how just a cordyline in a pot by itself, and you've chosen the April planters there. That is all you need.
Actually, he's listed them all, sorry.
Oh, has he?
But including Charlie Boy. There you go.
Good.
Charlie Boy cordyline surrounded by Nandinas, and then Alstromerias, Euphorbia, Miner's Merlot, grasses, dwarf conifers, for winter, hellebores, and 2 calendula, Power Daisy Yellow, and Ever Daisy Tango.
God.
Well done for naming
I missed the
all of those.
Alstroemeria. I didn't see those, actually, but I'm sure. So, very, very important. You need to buy this one in the clearance today. You are saving £13. You're getting it for $6.29 if you are in the club. Massively busy for this during the week. For me, that I've never ever seen such a beautiful cordyline at $6.99. I really haven't. $6.29 for as many club members, 45,000 of us are now club members. It's beautiful.
One is great as a centrepiece. A pair either side of something looks really good.
Because these look great in beds and borders. 3 in a bed would look amazing. And if you are somebody that's lucky enough to live by the coast, these are great in coastal positions as well. They don't mind the salt and sea air. Angela, hello. You've just joined us on Facebook, I believe.
Yeah, apparently Angela's by the seaside, isn't she?
Oh, well, Angela, you'll know. Cordylines love being by the seaside, as we all do.
As we all do, yes, indeed.
And then there is another cordyline, isn't there?
There is. This one's the Little Red Star. And I like this one because it still gives you all of the drama, all of the beauty that cordylines give. You've got the burgundy coloured foliage, which is really, really valuable in our gardens. But also this one just stays that little bit smaller. So, you know, other cordylines, they can get well over 1 metre in height. This one should only ever get to between half a metre and 1 metre.
Right, so perfect for pots again.
Perfect for pots, absolutely, yeah.
But very easy to look after. Amazing value. 680291 is your item of those. But please, I know because we do the free delivery when you spend £40, some of you will take your time placing orders, but try and be a bit quicker this morning, only because it is a clearance show. It is a case of first come, first served. Things will sell out, and 2 items have already sold out, don't forget as well. So that's the cordyline Australis Little Red Star 680291 at just $6.29 for club members, $6.99 if you're not. It's a great day to become a club member, actually. You can join right now and you will save 10% on your entire order.
Yeah, 'cause you still get the 10% off, even though we've got all these unmissable clearance deals, you still get another 10% as well, which is brilliant.
It's amazing. Right, this could be one of the first to sell out this morning.
Yeah, definitely. Stop warning on the Physocarpus, the lady in red. It's a trio. You are actually going to... No, it's a 1. Sorry, apologise. It's a 1 9 centimetre pot, $3.99.
But just to show you, they all look identical.
And a great one to get actually in multiples, because you can plant this, as Shaun said. You know, odd numbers is a perfect way to plant them. But this has got loads and loads of interest with it, because you get these deep wine red. I know Shaun will like that. Wine red leaves in there. But it's not just about the foliage. You actually get clusters of these pink and white flowers. And once this plant gets mature, you'll get berries on there as well, autumn berries.
I can't believe I've never grown this. There's the flowers that Bex was describing there. We've only got a few remaining, just to warn you. Nice and easy to grow as well. It gets about 1.5 meters.
Yeah, about 1.5 meters full growth. It's deciduous. It's going to drop its leaves. So it's going to come to you bare, but it doesn't matter, because you're going to plant it. You're then going to see all those lovely buds forming in the springtime, and you'll have this in your garden for years. And
don't worry if you can't get out and plant them in the next couple of weeks. Don't worry, all of these are fine in pots for a good number of weeks, but just keep your eye on them in case they dry out. I was mortified yesterday. I went to the pub garden to look after, and so many things had dried out.
Oh, really?
I was like, how did that happen? Yeah, I had to get the hose pipe out, seriously. And then, of course, it poured down with rain in the evening. Right, now we're going to move on to one of my favourites, the Sambucus, but this is the Sutherland Gold. Now, again, these are not going to look the best right now, because they're just in the process of losing their leaves. So this has nearly lost all of its leaves. In fact, a few did fall off as I was moving this into the potting shed. But that is perfectly normal. This is what happened this time of year. But look at the size of this. It comes in a 3-litre pot, and it is only $6.99. And in the springtime, when this bursts back into foliage, and in the summer, that is a display you'll get. And it's called Sutherland Gold, because you get the most amazing gold tones, and I love the foliage in Sambucus.
Yeah.
It's
Acer reminiscent, isn't it? That's what we say.
Yeah, we say it's nothing to do with an Acer. It's actually from the elderflower family, but it is. It's because it's so delicate looking.
It's got the fine sort of dissected leaves on it, which is really, really interesting. And it's those shades that you get, the yellows and the creamy greens, and there's so much going on with that one. It will produce flowers as well, won't it? Which we don't often remember to tell you about, but it will produce flowers.
And berries.
And berries too. And you can see on the plant that we've actually got here in the potting shed, there's loads of buds on the sides here. So you can see that there's loads of life. We're probably going to trim this down in springtime, just to above where those buds are poking, and you can't quite see that one, but yeah, there's buds poking out the side of there, and you'll just trim to the top above one of those, and then that'll actually encourage extra branching, and you'll get a fuller display from your plant.
And I planted these in my garden just because they're really fast growing. They establish really quickly. You can get 1 metre or more of growth in a single year on these. So if you want a nice space filled quickly, these are brilliant and great in pretty much most positions in terms of soil type. And mine's in like part shade, does very well there, but they're not that fussy.
If you've got the black one, the black lace,
I've got that as
really nice pairing. Yeah.
Black lace, that was the name of a band, wasn't it?
It was.
Random fact for you.
Random facts.
But amazing value, and say, just if you can pot it in the ground now, great, but you don't have to. But definitely, as Bex was saying, if yours is this kind of shape, just trim it back a bit in springtime, and it'll create a lovely bushy display. But they're beautiful and very easy to grow, and very fast growing, and absolutely stunning foliage. Now, Bex and I, we often talk about gardening together, and the thing is, gardening is such a huge subject. You cannot know everything, and you cannot know every plant.
No.
And neither of us knew that you could get a Callistemon in this colour until recently. Because we've only ever had the red, the classic red, we've occasionally had the pink, but we didn't know that you could get this kind of limey colour, this honeypot colour.
And it's beautiful, isn't it? I love it. I really like Callistemon because it has those bottle brush flowers, which is just something a bit unique, a bit different, a bit unusual in your garden. But the fact that you've got this lovely colour going on with this one as well, I just think it's exotic looking, isn't it? You do have evergreen arching branches from this, but and the foliage actually releases like a lemony scent. We had a little smell of it.
Stu, am I going crazy? Was this I don't remember this being $3.99. Was it $3.99?
Do you know, I can't remember. Maybe it was. We'll have a little look, shall we? I'm just having a smell of the foliage.
I thought it was $9.99, honestly. I'm just losing my...
Did you not put that in your order, Shaun?
No.
Well, you need
That's
to put that in your order.
Do you remember it being $3.99?
I don't remember it being $3.99, no. I think I've just got blind to how good the prices are.
I'm sorry, that's just ridiculous. Right, well, that's definitely good. I've got a decent stock, Stu, because I want to buy that one. Good.
Okay.
$3.99 for the most. Actually, have you ever seen that in anyone's garden in the UK?
No, I haven't. To be honest, I don't see Callistemon in many gardens anyway. So it's quite a unique and unusual one. It's half hardy. It's going to need a bit of protection. I will point that out. So don't just plant this out and leave it alone. It does need a little bit of extra winter protection. So just do that over this winter, and then you're going to have those beautiful bottle brush flowers next year.
God. Well, I'm definitely going to get one at $3.99, and I'll just keep mine in my greenhouse.
Yeah,
actually.
perfect.
But they are great, obviously, for your pollinators. They absolutely love them. They're beautiful, beautiful plants and very tactile. You know, those bottle brush flowers are actually really soft.
Yeah.
They look like they'd be spiky, but they're really, really soft.
Yeah, and they're not so delicate that they just fall to pieces either. You can actually touch them. I forgot to say, this one is a slightly more compact variety as well.
Yes.
Other Callistemon can get much taller, whereas this should only ever get to about 1 metre by 1 metre. So for smaller gardens, perfect.
That is good in my tropical area, I'll tell you.
There you go.
Oh, it is. Oh, sorry. I mean, you know, it was $9.99. So obviously, this is a clearance show. So if you just joined us, clearance today. We get a bit quieter in the winter months. We've got the cherry coming up for $6.99. The 2 ferns go down to £5 each. Wow, and that's a hairy lip fern, which is absolutely stunning. Right, the cordyline, that has to be one of the best buys you have ever seen. And don't forget, your free gift today with every single order is your blooming fast, and that will actually make 100 litres of our premium plant food. So that huge order, it's only $46.43. You get a £92 saving. That is a huge basket. When you open up the box with all of those in, and actually, I'll be honest, this order would probably arrive in a couple of boxes at least. But you've got the Verbena, bonariensis, and that's in a big 2-litre pot. We've got 3 of the Erigeron in there, 2 of the ferns, as we mentioned. You've got the Verbena in there, you've got the cordyline. A huge order, delivered free. And you tried to get all of that in a garden centre for £46.
Yeah, you've got no chance.
You really haven't. Oh, we love this. Let's do a clearance show every week.
Yes, please.
But we really can't. But promises today, I know we've got a lot of you joining us. Don't leave it too long to place your orders, because we will definitely have some sellouts by the looks of things. Right. This was really popular during the week. I'm not surprised, are you?
I am not surprised at all, no. Sempervivums, or chick charms you might know them as, they are so easy to grow, easy to look after. They're ridiculously drought tolerant, and they are so very colourful. And there's loads of different varieties that you can get. You can start collecting these. The colours are just mind-blowing, and they actually sort of change colour throughout the seasons as well.
Yeah.
But they're evergreen, which is perfect. It means
And
there's always something to look at. Yeah, and totally winter hardy.
See, I know.
Look at the colours of that.
I've got many Sempervivums, but a lot of mine are just nowhere near as colourful as this, because this has got stunning, like reds and burgundies and oranges. So it's called the Gold Nugget. Now, as Bex was saying, it's really, really easy to actually propagate this. So all you need to, if you want to create free plants, you see all the little chicks around the edge. If you just gently pull those out, you'll see they've actually got roots on them already.
I've left a little pot just in front of the picture that we're collecting those in as well.
And all you need to do, now look at this. So we've planted some more up there. Sorry, Stu. There you go. So from that one plant, you could do this straight away if you wanted to. If you wanted to create some new plants.
Yeah, there's loads in there.
What they look really good in, they look really good in terracotta pots with gravel around them, so they do like to be well drained, but they look absolutely fantastic in little terracotta pots with gravel around them. And they do flower, we forget to say, but in the summertime, because I've got mine on some little stone steps, you do get sort of like little thin stems, about, I don't know, 15, 20 centimetres with little, normally like pink flowers on them. They're gorgeous.
I love them. It's not something I've got in my garden yet, so it's definitely something I should. No, I haven't, and I need to add them in because obviously they're very low maintenance and they're very, very easy.
But that's how they look best to me, surrounded by gravel.
Definitely.
And they like that, obviously, because they love to be well drained.
Yeah, nice, and they don't need loads of water either. No. They actually like poor soil.
In fact, the only way of I've got a friend Lynn, and she did manage to kill some of these. And
well done, Lynn.
I know, Lynn. I mean, and do you know why? They were in a pot with poor drainage, and the pot was underneath a leaking drain pipe, so it was constantly getting flooded with water. And that's the only way, really, that you can harm them, because they just need to be well drained, but they're fully winter hardy. That is a particularly divine variety, though. It's really colourful, and so it changes colour. In the summer, it's more like lime green, and then the autumn and winter, you get more of the yellows and the oranges as well. Juliet and Brenda, good morning. I know you're on Facebook. Nice to see you.
Good morning.
Am I a bit shiny today, Bex?
No.
No?
Don't think so.
I'm feeling shiny. I'm feeling shiny and bright. Right, so who's
Elaine sent us some pictures.
Morning, Elaine. We do love you, Elaine.
Thank you, Elaine. So first
what did we do with that, Elaine?
I know, right? First one is, so she just says, my delivery, fantastic, thank you. So this is the delivery that she's got on a kitchen work surface here. I can't quite work out what they all are, though. It's the hydrangeas.
Yeah, because she bought, I think she bought 4, didn't she?
Yeah, certainly looks like 4 hydrangeas there.
I tell you what, Elaine.
And then she's got a bare root rose there by the looks of things. You're my everything. There it is. Let me read it on the label. You're my everything. 2025.
So
that's brilliant. She's got a delivery in. She sent another picture as well.
I'm so glad.
So she hasn't got any room to do the washing up. Brilliant.
That's a great excuse, then,
isn't it? And the hydrangeas are in. Hang on.
Already?
Just loading. Oh, yeah, she's planted them in, look. There we go, potted.
No,
planted.
I tell you what, in summer next year, when they're covered with those paniculata flowers, those lovely whites, they're going to look amazing.
Right, she's got a question. Oh, that must be in the YouTube chat, hey? It's not
Bear
on the emails.
with us, Elaine.
It's not in the emails. Let me check the YouTube chat. So Elaine says, Stu, a question. Oh, I put the hydrangeas in. Do I need to protect from frost?
No.
No, hydrangeas are fully winter hardy.
Totally.
The only thing you need to make sure of is obviously you might not need to worry too much in the winter time, but they need to be kept well watered. Yeah. Don't let them dry out.
As Bex has just said, this should be fine in the winter, but if we had a particularly sort of like dry, windy period, but it's unlikely, isn't it?
It's unlikely, but just make sure they stay. But hydrangeas just love water.
Just well done for getting them in.
Very good, yeah.
They're good. I can't wait to see them next year. And I tell you what, against that bark, Elaine, those paniculata white flowers are going to look incredible, aren't they?
They are going to look so good. She's also put a comment in saying they ordered Jack Frost and Apple Tree on Thursday. And we're moving on to the Jack Frost next. So I'm glad you got hold of that, Elaine.
Actually, is the Jack Frost fairly limited as well? Are we okay, Stu?
I think we might be.
Okay.
No, it's all right, yeah. We're good.
So we're going to move. So this is what Elaine's gone for. We both fell in love with this on Thursday, didn't we?
I have wanted this, and I still haven't placed my order, so I'm glad we've got enough, because I do need to place my order for this one. I have wanted this for such a long time. Honestly, for years, I've kind of seen it, and I've walked past it in garden centres, and I've thought, I love that plant, but it does have a high price. I don't know why, but it does have a high price. So I've never bought it because it's just always been out of my price range, too expensive, but not today because it's just £4.49 for me. I'm a club member. £4.99 if you're not in the club. The reason I love this so much is, first of all, it likes a shady spot. That, for me, is invaluable. There are so many shady corners in our gardens that can be really tricky to plant things in. Obviously, ferns are an amazing choice, and we've got one coming up. But this planted with your ferns will be so beautiful. Oh. The frosting that you get, the colour, the kind of frosting colour that you get on the leaves is outstanding.
And I love the shape of them, don't you?
The big heart-shaped leaves. And it covers the ground beautifully too. So it gets to about maybe 45 centimetres in height, but it's going to spread by a couple of feet. So this is really good at filling those gaps in, making sure that weeds don't root in there, because if there's a space, a weed will find a way.
And I'll tell you what, isn't it a bonus that they actually flower as well? And the flowers are a little bit like, remind me a little bit of forget-me-not kind of flowers, but a little bit bit taller than those, but really pretty.
And pollinators enjoy those flowers as well. So this is a wildlife-friendly one. It's winter hardy. It is a deciduous perennial, so it is going to drop its leaves. It's not looking absolutely fantastic, and it won't at this time of year, but getting it at this price means that next year you're going to be so happy you did. And
just looking at that price, $4.99, because these look good on mass as well. You know, they really do. It's a plant that, you know, one's perfect, but if you want to go for more and have a whole area of these with maybe some ferns, some other shade-loving plants like the blue heron, you could create an amazing display. You could grow those in pots if you've got maybe some nice pots in a shady corner.
Yeah, definitely.
But $4.99 and really, really popular. That was one of the top sellers on Thursday. They are in our clearance today. Let us know what you think of our clearance, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're gonna love it. Right, really quickly, we have got the stunning Lime Passion cordyline, and it's beautiful. $6.99. I was looking at my cordylines this morning, and some of mine look so dull compared to this. I've just got some plain. I mean, I have got this one, but I've also got some quite dull ones. But this is all about size. I'm not being funny, but at $6.99, you would expect that to be about 30 centimetres.
Yes.
These are from stock. That is the size you'll get. So we're talking 50 to 60 centimetres. We do class them on our website. We have got them as winter hardy, so you've got the lifetime guarantee. But I would definitely go for several of those. I mean, we saw earlier, you know, that lovely picture of the cordyline just in one pot.
Yeah, Tony in the centre, beautiful centrepiece.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
So good as a centrepiece. If you've got a couple of urns as well, to get two of these, and I see it a lot out front of houses, you know, in an urn either side. They'll obviously create a trunk as the leaves fade. You'll get that lovely tall trunk. You can underplant them as well with your winter bedding, with your summer bedding, but they just provide stunning architecture, and the colour and size of this for $6.29.
It's ridiculous.
It's perfect.
That will make a huge impact on any garden.
Definitely.
And you've spent $6.99. There's not many plants that will give you so much kind of drama and architecture and beauty for $6.99, and you're not having to wait. You know, I'm a slightly impatient gardener, and sometimes I buy things and then it starts to look good 2 or 3 years later, sometimes even longer. That instantly looks wow, doesn't it? Amazing. Right, have we got any Agapanthus left?
Just a couple remaining. So yeah, time to get these into your basket and check your baskets out, because you definitely don't want to miss this one. It's £17.99, $16.19 if you're in the club. The size of that is incredible for that price as well. Shaun was saying earlier, you go to a garden centre when this is in full bloom, and you'll be paying £50, £60 for a plant of that size.
I mean, I live near a beautiful garden centre, but it's very high end, and I do remember they had just a row of the Agapanthus blue in summer. This size, I mean, yeah, I'd say that size, maybe even slightly smaller, but they were all in flower. And you'd see people just walk past them and go, oh, they're beautiful, and they'd buy them, but they were, I think they were $59.99.
Yeah.
And I would expect, you know, even our usual price is very good for that one, but at $16.19 for club members, amazing.
The stems are so strong as well.
Aren't they?
Like, honestly, those are... They're almost like a trunk. They're so sturdy, honestly. And this is the tall variety as well, getting to about, I mean, they can get to a good metre in height.
But you want a really sunny spot. These come from South Africa. They're used to hot climates. You want a really sunny spot, well-drained soil. And we always say, keep them, if you do end up repotting this, only put it in a pot that's ever so slightly bigger, because you want to keep them confined.
Definitely.
Or put it in your beds and borders. But right, the bare root cherry is coming up.
We've got something for everybody.
So Nelly described the potting shed.
So we've got bare roots, we've got perennials, we've got all sorts, and this is your bare root cherry, which we're going to be showing to you in a little while. It's the sweet Stella. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
$6.99 as well.
And Bex has just done, I've just said earlier, she's done a lovely little video about how to plant bare roots.
I have,
yeah, it's really good. So it's on Instagram and Facebook. So if you don't know how to plant a bare root, honestly, there's a video, and it's like the ABC of planting a bare root, isn't it? Yeah, you can't go wrong with it.
I haven't seen the video yet.
It's really good.
Check it out.
It's good.
I haven't watched it, Stu. No.
It's gone viral, Bex.
I think I saw the TikTok one. I just didn't see it because it's gone on TikTok and it's on Facebook and Instagram as well.
But it's nice to have that, you know, and this is what Bex and I are doing with, obviously, Stu. We're filming lots more content on our website, on our social media. So if there's anything you need to know, you can just watch a little video and it's there. We're moving over
He's hurting us. He's hurting us.
Yeah.
He's hurting us because this one is low stock. Okay,
Is
so
it?
we need to get to this one as soon as possible.
I meant to buy this.
Perovskia, unfortunately, this is one of the ones that we're giving you the stock warning on. Normally, we bring you, really deep stocks, and we never have any issues of things selling out. But because this is clearance, obviously, we have got some that are very, very low
Just
stock.
smell that. It's known as Russian sage. It smells beautiful.
Honestly, it's really so. The foliage, as you don't even need to crush it, as you just brush past it, it gives this lovely scent. And it's kind of, we were saying, it's almost a citrusy sage scent, isn't it?
And it is, I've got lavender, and I'm just going to be really honest, my lavender's about 4 years old now, 4.5 years old. It's going a bit woody, and lavender sometimes, once it gets to year 4, year 5, you end up wanting to replace it because it starts to be a bit difficult. This is a brilliant alternative to English lavender because you get all the benefits, you still got all the pollinators, you still get the beautiful, beautiful flowers, but, and in like same position, I should say, nice sunny spot, well-drained soil. But the great thing is, compared to lavender, I think the scent is just so different and such an alternative. I mean, I love lavender, but you were saying last week, Beck, some people just really don't like the smell of lavender.
Yeah, I think it divides people, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Some people really don't like the smell of lavender and others love it. It's not an in-between. It's not, it's all right. You either love it or you don't. So I think this is a really good alternative. If you want the look of lavender, this will grow in a very similar way. It will get a bit taller than lavender, but it'll grow in the same conditions.
Yeah.
It'll grow in a nice sunny spot, poor soil, but it gives you that sort of look and feel without the scent of lavender that goes with it. And of course, you get this. It's great for lining pathways because as you brush past it, you get that lovely scent that comes from the foliage. And pollinators adore it too.
And I think with lavender, there is a bit of an art to pruning it. When I say an art, you take too much off, you can kill it. If you go down to the wood, if you take too little off, it goes woody. I would say this is maybe a little bit easier in terms of pruning and maintenance.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got the Award of Garden Merit from the RHS as well.
Got to be easy.
Proven garden performer, basically. We know that it's a proven garden performer for our UK gardens if it's got that AGM, and they've given it their badge of perfect for pollinators. You can see how much the pollinators are going to enjoy it.
And you are going to get 3 of those in 9cm pots for just $8.99. 3 is definitely not too many because just like lavender, this looks really good planted en masse. It really does.
Yeah.
A whole border with that. It is getting close to selling out. We are, I say, approaching limited stock on that one. 560949 at $8.99. I think today we might have one of the busiest shows ever. So thank you to everybody that's watching, placing orders. It is a clearance show, and a lot of these plants you will not see till next year. And then when they do come back, they will be back at full price. In fact, they may be even more than their full price that they currently are reduced from. Does that make sense? Did that make sense?
Yes, I did.
Stu said no. So basically, I'll make it easy. So the Perovskia, our RRP is $29.97. What I'm saying, next year, that RRP may be even higher.
Yes.
So to get them at a clearance price today is incredible. And we know we've that's sort of made sense. You've got what we're saying. But they are amazing prices. And Bex and I, we've worked in the potting shed for the last 16, 18 months, but we've worked with you Garden. I think I've worked with them for like 20 years and some. You've worked with them for many years as well.
Yeah.
So we do know their prices, and these are incredible today. They really are.
Indeed, they are. We've got another one for you, though, with the hairy lip fern.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're getting the Jack Frost, the Brunnera, then I recommend going for the hairy lip fern with it because they will work in the same spots, but they're going to give you lovely contrast. The hairy lip fern is a really perfectly compact fern as well.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
It's gorgeous.
It is.
It's a perfectly compact one. This one's only going to get to about 30 by 30 centimetres, a foot by a foot. So if you're filling a shady corner with various different ferns, this one's the one that's going to go at the front of that border. And
I love the fact, I've got various ferns in my garden, but some do die right down in the winter. This is evergreen. You've got all of that foliage.
I like that.
And I just love ferns. I love ferns. I've really learned over the years that, much as I adore hostas, they are tricky because of the slugs. And we've got Storch, and that does the trick normally. But when it comes to ferns, they are really low maintenance. I always think they're
pretty much no maintenance, I think.
I agree.
Because you don't actually have to prune them. I mean, you might, occasionally you might get one or two fronds that fade a little bit, so you'll trim those away. But pretty much no pruning required. They're not affected, as you were about to say, by slugs and snails,
not at all.
which is perfect. And they are a problem solver by going into all of those sort of shady corners and things, which is brilliant.
And I always think that when you've got borders, and you've got shrubs and various plants in there, any gap, as we were saying earlier, is always prone to getting a weed in it.
Yeah.
So I love to underplant shrubs with ferns. It can look amazing. Club members, you can get 2 of those for £9. And they're big. I mean, you look at the size. These are not little ferns that are going to take 2 or 3 years to get to full size. They're already really well established and really healthy. They're amazing. I love the feel of a fern, don't you?
I do indeed, and I love the fact that they are hardy in winter and drought tolerant in summer. So obviously they tick so many boxes.
And one of the oldest plants on the planet as well. They really are. So that's a Callistemon hairy lip fern double up deal, 2 for £9.99 or £9 if you are club members. That is amazing value, isn't it? Now we're going to move on. Stu's just called this. Stu is our producer and director and graphics operator. He's very good. What's his called this? The Wood of Dog.
The Wood of Dog.
The Wood of Dog.
The Dogwood. The Cornus. Yeah, we know this one. I mean, mostly we know this for its winter displays.
Yeah.
And by that I mean you get bright red, fiery colours. You get oranges, yellows and bright red stems from this. It's deciduous and it drops its leaves and then it leaves you with this beauty over winter.
And I remember last year, this time of year, in fact it was December, we walked around the nursery.
We did, and it stood out,
didn't it? Yeah.
Really
there was just like this
out.
blaze of red.
Yeah, and that's what you will get in your garden. However, this actually gives you loads of interest throughout the entire year, throughout the whole season. In springtime, you get dainty white flowers on here that the bees and the butterflies love. In the summertime, you'll get blackberries, which the birds will love. In autumn, you're going to get that display, those coral pink leaves, which I think is... it's quite unlike a lot of things that you'll have in your garden. And then in winter, you're getting those flame red coloured stems on there as well. So it really is a true multi-season feature plant.
And I remember I had this in my last garden. There was one Christmas where it didn't actually snow on Christmas Day, but it did snow quite near to Christmas. And it looked magical. I just remember like frost and snow on those red-orange stems. Another easy one to grow goes to about, I'd say, 2 metres or so.
Yeah, but really easy to prune back.
Yeah,
you don't need to worry about this one. If it gets too big, you can easily sort of hack it back.
And it could look really nice with some little twinkly lights on around Christmas time.
I like that.
Look nice, yeah.
I need to up my garden game when it comes to lighting, honestly. I love it when you see gardens lit up at night time.
I do.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh my word, Stu's just said he put his Christmas lights up yesterday.
Oh, I'm jealous.
I have seen a few gardens with the Christmas lights, but they don't necessarily... there's so many nice lights you can have outside all winter long.
My neighbours have them out all year round, and they look really beautiful.
So that's the Cornus Annie Winter Orange, and that is down to £3.49. Again, if you can't plant it straight away, it will be fine in that pot for quite a few weeks, but just keep your eye on the watering, just don't let it dry out. Right, I meant to take a picture of my Erigeron this morning.
Oh no.
It looks great.
Yeah, mine still does.
Yeah.
I should have done it as well.
So I planted a whole border of Erigeron. Ours are still flying now, and we are mid-November. Now, I'll be honest, it does forecast a few frosts potentially next week, so that might make it die down, but it's flowered from May through to November. How many months is that? 8? May, June, July, August, October. 7. Yeah, 7 months of flowers.
This is the fantastic thing about Erigeron, because it flowers for ages, and you don't actually really need to do anything to it.
Have you done anything with yours?
I did trim it back in spring. So all I did was just a little tidy up, just trim it a little bit back, and then I've left it alone. I've done absolutely nothing else to it. And it grows perfectly. It gives this colour change. You get these lovely daisy-like flowers on here, and they just change colour. It's not 2 varieties in there.
No.
They start out a bright white, and then they go through these shades of pink during its flowering season. They open up during the daytime. They close up at night time as well, which if you're out in the garden sort of late evening,
it's quite cute,
it's really cute to see that. It plays really nicely in borders. You're probably bored of me telling you this, but I'm going to say it again. Happy accident. Planted it next to my Roseanne geranium.
I thought you were going to say giraffe there.
I was going to say the Rosanium geranium. Anyway, that one.
It was like I thought the word...
Just mix the 2 words together.
We were talking about brain fog earlier, weren't we, Beck?
Yeah. It's a classic symptom. But yes, they've grown so nicely into each other, and it is such a good combination. I highly recommend it.
And I've planted it for ground cover. I've got an area that was constant. It was like rubbly. It's an area that I've just not dealt with, full of stones and rubble. I will show it a bit later on, but I just planted this en masse, and I've just got a carpet of colour, and it's low maintenance. I haven't fed mine at all this summer, but they do survive in the poorest of areas. You'll see these growing out of things like stone walls. I've seen them growing out of stone steps and things, little cracks in the pavements. So very, very robust in terms of a plant. Loves a sunny position, but poor soils are absolutely fine, and it is known as ground cover, so it will give you just a carpet of colour. And although the individual flowers, let's be honest, they're not the most exotic flowers. You never look at one of the flowers and go, oh my word, that is just amazing. You wouldn't. But it's the amount that you get that gives you that incredible impact. That's rooty as well, isn't it?
It's really rooty. Stu was just asking, are you okay to plant this out in the winter time? Yeah, this is not going to have any problems at all. So you could put this into its, chosen location now. But if you want to be sure, then just put it into a slightly larger pot, keep hold of it for a little while, and then plant it out when you're ready. But I don't think you will have any problems at all.
But it's a very, very easy plant to grow, and it's beautiful. It really is. And that's 56640. Now, don't forget, this is a clearance show. You probably noticed. You've just joined us on our live stream. We are here till 12:30, but a lot of plants won't be, because when they're gone, they're gone. So place your orders. Even if you've already placed an order, you might want to place a second one. But we're going to do free postage over £40. Your free gift is blooming fast, worth $4.99. But to get all of the offers, you've got to use that code YGTV4624. I know you regulars know that, but you might be one of our newbies today as well. Got a few new names coming in, actually.
Oh, thank you. Welcome.
Yes.
If you are watching us for the first time, we are here twice a week at the moment. So we do Thursday mornings and we do Sunday mornings. We're also on TikToks in the afternoon, Tuesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon as well. And yeah, we'll be back on QVC at some point soon. Somebody was commenting about that. So yeah, we will be back there.
We will. I've got loads of shows planned next year. We have.
We will.
Right, we also have now a digitalis for you. Foxglove.
Yeah.
$3.99, 51553. And I always, whenever I look at a digitalis, I always think country cottage garden.
Yeah, definitely.
I love I don't know, there's just something so magical about them. And I know the other day when we were talking about this, Bex, you mentioned about when little bees go in there.
Yeah, I love it.
And you see the little bottoms.
Bee bottom just wiggling out the back there. I love them because they work best in part shade. So again, height to your border, but that back of the border by the fence there, that's just in that part shade position, that's going to be the perfect spot.
And quite often they will self-seed as well. So, after the flower, if you leave the flower heads on there, you may well get some free plants the following year. But in the summertime, these looked amazing on the nursery. This is what your garden could look like in 2025. Well, these are our Digitalis Dalmatian mix, foxgloves as I know them as, and they're just beautiful. And I always think that foxgloves, they look good on mass. Now, you don't need to have as many of these as we've got here on the nursery, but doesn't that look absolutely beautiful? And the size we've got here, we do sell the smaller ones early on in the season, but these, just take one out now, are so well established, aren't they? Beautiful. And again, the pollinators love these. You often see they little bumblebees. I say little bees are really big this year. They seem really big to me, but they love going inside each and every one of these beautiful flowers. The lovely thing is these do come back year after year. They actually often self-seed as well. So you can find over the years, you get more and more of these. But I love the kind of country cottage look. I also like the fact that they're self-supportive as well. So with a foxglove, you don't have to stake them, so they never look ugly or anything like that. And when you see them on mass with, there's a bee just whizzing in there. When you see them on mass like this, they are absolutely beautiful. I love the different colours as well. Variety of creams and purples, a little bit of lilac over there, and incredibly easy to grow as well. In fact, they do quite well in part shade, so back of a border, part shade, and they will come back every single year. They're just gorgeous. So yes, it is our Digitalis Foxglove, the Dalmatian mix. So, yeah, aren't they gorgeous? And they look beautiful en masse. So at $3.99, I mean, I always think, I'll be honest, I think one foxglove by itself doesn't work for me. Not that there's any rules in gardening. You design your garden as you want, but I think it's fair to say foxgloves, when they grow in their natural environments, they grow in groups and in clumps. So at $3.99, I'd definitely go for a few of those. Maybe go for 3 of them, maybe go for 5, 7. Again, odd numbers often work really well, particularly with flowers that have got that natural kind of country cottage garden look. And they're only $3.99. They call them Dalmatian mix because you've got those lovely, lovely kind of spots in the centre of those trumpet-shaped flowers. But yeah, good morning. Look, we are getting lots of orders coming through now. Very, very important. This is a clearance show. Many of the items, when they have gone, they have gone. They will not be coming back till next year. And what you need to do, what I would do, and I'd like to call myself an expert when it comes to ordering at Yew Garden. I am pretty good at shopping. Go to the website, go to our show page, live now, and then put anything in your basket, but use the code. Get your code in straight away, because what that will then do is show you the discounted prices. So put your code in and that unlocks all of the offers and you'll see the real prices. Do you know what? There's barely anything over £10. There's lots of items under £5 in our clearance show today. And these are genuinely incredible prices just to clear stock. And if there's anything that you want to see more detail, if you want Bex and I to talk around it, just let us know on the Facebook chat, the YouTube chat, putting it in an email at ygtv@yewgarden.com. My name's Shaun Ryan. I'm known as Shaun Ryan, presenter and plant man. So if you want to follow me on social media, you can do. Our lovely Bex Edwards is over there as well. So the pair of us, we are here to help. And normally between us, and Stu actually, we can normally answer pretty much any question. If you don't know the answer, we will find out for you. But yeah, we would love you to follow us on our social media as well. Right. Stock warning. Lady in red is limited stock. So if you want the Physocarpus, the lady in red, remember this is a lovely, lovely shrub that will grow to about 1.5 meters. You get all of these really pretty flowers followed by berries. The foliage is like a burgundy bronze colour. It is deciduous, so it will lose its leaves in the winter time, but it will burst back the following year. And it's all about colour with this. I always think if everything is too green in the garden, it can look a little bit samey, but when you've got contrasting foliage, when you get the burgundies, the browns, the pinks, it can look quite magical, but you've got all of the added benefits there as well. So $3.99 for the Physocarpus there, lady in red, and that is 511565. Now we've got a stock warning on our Agapanthus. We are very limited stock. Now these are big. These are really mature Agapanthus, and because they're mature, you are going to get so many more flowers next year, many more stems, big flower heads. They are, I think, one of the most striking plants that you can grow in the UK. They really are bold and beautiful. This particular variety is one of the taller ones, so those blue stems will grow to about 1 meter. Agapanthus originate from really hot countries like South Africa, so you want a really, really sunny spot and well-drained soil. And they don't like too much space, so this arrives in a 20 centimetre pot. If you do repot it, only go a few centimetres bigger. Never ever give it too much room, because then you just get loads of leaves and no flowers. Now, something that we really have both got our eye on today is the Jack Frost. Now, this is a shade-loving plant, so those difficult shady areas can be brightened up magnificently with this. The leaves are so beautiful. They're heart-shaped. They're a lovely kind of silvery colour. You've got loads of veins and markings on there, but you also get the added benefit of flowers. And the flowers, they remind me a bit of forget-me-nots. They're really nice little delicate flowers, but an absolutely stunning plant for shady area. $4.99 561053. Now, a brand new Callistemon. We've never seen this colour Callistemon before, known as the bottle brush plant. So you'll have seen these with the red flowers. You'll have seen them occasionally with pink. This is a honey pot variety. $3.99. It will need a bit of protection in the winter. And so what I would do, if you've got a greenhouse, superb. If you've got maybe just a nice sheltered corner, you might need to put a bit of fleece over it if it's frosty, but at $3.99, absolutely incredible value for money. Bit more compact as well. We'll only go to about 1 metre in terms of size, but I can't wait for that to flower next year. 511 556. Normally flower around about May onwards. Right, this is a really great deal for the Sambucus. This is a really stunning plant on so many different levels. Now, the foliage is beautiful. You've got this really intricate dissected foliage that will be golden in colour with yellows and different shades of green. You also get flowers in the summertime followed by berries. I bought this because it's fast growing, so you can get 1 metre or so new growth within a year. And these look great in the corner of a garden. Likes kind of partial shade, I would say, but pretty tolerant to most conditions. It will lose its leaves. So when it arrives, look, it's not going to look its best when it arrives. It may have lost all of its leaves. There may just be a few hanging on there, but plant it now and next year it will be magnificent. 511494. Then we have got our Sempervivums, the gold nugget. Now there are many varieties of Sempervivums. This is a lovely outdoor succulent that's fully winter hardy, but this one is a lot more colourful, so it changes colour depending on the season. Summertime it's more green, in the autumn you start to get these lovely yellows and reds in the winter, and it does produce loads of children. I mean, this is like, it's one of those plants that will just keep producing little chicks, little babies that you can so easily propagate and then get more free plants. I always think these look, they like to be in a sunny spot ideally, but they like well drained. So make sure that they're covered with gravel around them. They look great in little pots and containers. And I just think can make the cutest displays. They're absolutely lovely. I've got mine on little stone steps in terracotta pots with gravel, and they really do look rather charming. But fully winter hardy, 560, 534, really busy for those at £3.99. For me, one of the, in fact, no, the best deal we have ever done on a cordyline is looking at you right now, and it's a cordyline lime passion. So it's a very beautiful cordyline. You've got not just a plain green leaf on this, but you've got all of the lovely kind of cream margins, lots of different shades of green in here, including some really kind of limey, zesty greens. It's going to arrive between about 50 and 60 centimetres in terms of height, so it's really well established, and it's only $6.99, $6.80, $2.92. And then we are very low stock on the Perovskia. This is known as Russian sage. Very similar to lavender in terms of what it needs. So sunny spot, well-drained soil, poor soils are fine. But the fragrance is completely different. It's like a sagey fragrance with a little bit of zest in it. $5.60, $9.49. And you get 3 of those for $8.99. We've also got a deal on the Callistemon Lanosa, which is the hairy lip fern, at $5.99. If you're in the club, $5.39, and if you double up, you can get 2 for £9.99, so £9 in the club. Loves a shaded position. It's evergreen, this particular variety, really compact, so 40-50 centimetres max, front of a border, and very, in general, I would say disease resistant, and the slugs don't like them either. So ideal for that difficult shady spot. 561-204. Then wood of dog, as we've called it. Yeah, the dogwood. The Cornus, the Annie Winter Orange. $3.49. Beautiful, this one. Stunning on so many different levels. It looks great when it's got foliage, great when it's in flower with berries in the autumn, but in the winter, as it loses its leaves, as it stands there naked in your garden, it is magnificent. It is though. Wish I looked as good as this naked, but it really does look good because you get all of that wonderful red-orange stems. And that just means that for me, on a crisp winter's day, when it's a little bit frosty, and you look out your window and you see that, absolutely amazing. Very easy to grow, and will grow to about 2 meters tall. 511 012. It's a really stunning one. Also, the digitalis. Now, I'm going to say it again. I think you want to buy more than one of these. I think one looks a little bit odd in the garden. I think they look great planted in clumps of 3s and 5s and 7s. Yes, somebody's just ordered 3 of those, so thank you for taking my advice. But that's how they naturally grow, in kind of like woodland settings. And what that means is back of the border, so they like a sort of like semi-shady area, don't need too much sunlight, but you get that height, you get these absolutely divine flowers, and the pollinators love them as well. But lots of you ordering those, $3.99. They're normally $12.99 each, and they are well established in a 2-litre pot. Now this is brilliant for ground cover. It's known as Erigeron or Mexican fleabane, sea of blossom, lots of different names. $7.49 is all you're going to pay for 3 of these. Claire's just messaged, and she's got these by the front door. Yeah, thank you, Claire. They've done really well in a tricky spot. So this one, it kind of thrives on neglect. So it doesn't mind gravel, it doesn't mind like rockeries, poor soils. I've even seen it growing out of walls and cracks and things like that. But it does like a lot of sun, and it will flower from May right the way through to, well, mine's even flying right now in November. When it gets frosty, it dies right back. Don't worry, it will bounce back in the springtime. 560, 640 for the Erigeron there. At 7.49. Now we've also got in our clearance show today, by the way, thank you, loads of orders coming through. Just thinking we're sort of coordinated today, Bex, aren't we?
We are a little bit, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah. We haven't dressed up too much, have we?
No, not too much.
Because we're in the potting shed.
Exactly. We're not going glam in the shed,
No. This is, what I love about this is the real thing. You know, we are on a working nursery. That's, you know, that's where we broadcast from. And it is lovely. So it's a little bit quieter on a Sunday, but yeah, we actually are in the centre of an 11-acre working nursery, yew garden right now. Right, we've got some deals on our pots as well.
Yeah, let's start with the Sereno, because this one, I mean, this is a brilliant deal. Tony sent us a picture earlier, and he's got loads of these.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you regulars have already got this.
He had all the hellebores in, didn't he?
He did, yeah. It might be time to grab some of these. In fact, I planted all my bulbs, you'll be pleased to know. Actually, I lie, I haven't planted them all. There's 3 bags left, but I'm going to do it, don't worry. But yes, the bulbs are in. I planted some in these pots as well because they're just going to work perfectly.
And what did you put in?
What did I put? Crocus.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
perfect.
Crocus in there, so they're going to look perfect come the springtime. But what I love about that size of pot is you can change it over really easily, really cheaply, because it doesn't cost lots. Not loads of compost, not loads of plants.
I tell you what, I would maybe put in there as well.
Sempervivum would be nice.
I just put an extra bit of gravel and stuff in there, and gravel around it.
That'd be lovely.
That could look really good, couldn't it?
Gorgeous.
Yeah, love that.
We've also got the Knox. Oh, so the Torinos are, what were they?
$1.49
each.
Ridiculous.
Multi-buy those. Then we've got the Knox hanging basket. These can be removed, so you could just use it as a pot like this if you want to, because they get removed really easily. But it's an anti-twist, which I really like with those. They've got the drainage and they've got a beautiful design.
And I think that makes a great winter hanging basket because it's not too big. It's easy to plant. $2.49, saving £5.50. Now, I think terracotta works in every single garden. It's an absolute classic. This is what we call terranotta. So it's not terracotta. It's not going to break. And it's $1.99. But it's UV resistant, frost proof. I mean, I had to laugh. I do go to garden centres, but only to look and to do research and things. But they had this big display in the garden centre near here of terracotta, which was frost proof and and like.
Yeah, all right.
Do you know what? So many of them were broken apart.
Yeah, they are.
They really were. So many.
If you're ever buying them, by the way, just tap them on the side, because you can hear by the sound as to whether they've got internal cracks or not.
Yeah.
But you don't have to worry about this with these. These look like terracotta, but they're not. They're frost resistant, UV stabilised, going to last you for ages. If you've still got some bulbs to plant, there's loads of bulbs that will work in here perfectly. Your daffodils, your tulips, your crocus, everything.
And actually, when you put them next to terracotta, and that is it. And actually, if you let, some people will keep these nice and clean, but if you let them age slightly, sometimes get a little bit of, sort of like algae on there and moss and things, it can give them a really natural look, or you might like them as they are. But yeah, they're brilliant. And
they're only £1 and £1.99 or £1.79 if you're in the club. We didn't actually show you this one on Thursday, but this one is also available. It's our Eclipse Square Planter with the cage trellis. I've got one of these. It's got one of the tiny clematis in, the Boulevard, the patio clematis. I've got one of those and it works gorgeously in here. Again, you don't have to have it with the trellis on. You can remove that. You can just use it as the pot itself. But yeah, for a lovely little climber, that works perfectly.
Right, we are really busy today. And do you know what? I don't want to rush you. Gardening's not about rushing, is it?
No.
It really isn't. But how annoyed are you going to be if some of the items that you've got in your basket when you go to checkout have sold out? So just bear in mind, the Agapanthus is about to sell out. The Lady in Red is getting really close to selling out. It is a clearance. When items have gone, they have gone. So don't leave it too long. I mean, most things will probably come back next year, but they may well be at full price. They may.
Yeah, they're not going to be at this price, are they?
Oh, some of them are apparently not coming back.
Oh,
yeah.
Apparently some of them is marked as rundown, which might mean they're not coming back. We might get a different variety.
I hope we're coming back next year.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
We don't want to be... We want to come back. Hey, we've got shows right up to Christmas, actually, so do not worry.
Yeah,
right, we have been really busy for our cherry tree, which is the Stella.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's £6.99, everybody. It's £6.99. Yeah, £6.99 or £6.29 if you're in the club. That tree is multi-branched, first of all.
Yeah,
Shaun's been pointing this out because I like this. When you go to the supermarkets and things, you can buy these bare root fruit trees, but they're just what they call a whip, aren't they?
Like a single stem often.
So you don't have the multiple branches on here, which means you're going to be waiting so much longer to get your fruit. So multi-branched here. You will be getting fruits within a few years. Not next year. You're not going to get them next year. But within a few...
You may get one or two.
You might get a couple. But look, you're planting for the future, but you're planting for decades into the future as well. This tree will outlive most of us if it's looked after properly.
Probably will.
I know it's a very morbid way to look at it. Sorry.
I'm 32 now, so I reckon, it could outlive me.
But honestly, you'll get so much fruit from this, and it's the sweet cherry Stella. It's one of the best ones.
I was just thinking, a punnet of cherries, £6.99, you could easily pay that.
Yeah, and they're gone. They could be gone in an afternoon. This, decades. And it's so easy to plant a bare root. We were talking earlier, I've done a little video on bare root. I just had a look on Facebook and Instagram. I couldn't find it, but it will be there. It's so simple. All you have to do is unwrap the roots, which we've done with this one already. That's what a bare root looks like. Then you're going to soak it in a bucket of water. Overnight, definitely give it a really good drink. That really wakes it up, doesn't it? It's like a slap round the face for your cherry tree. We recommend our heavy duty pots.
What a lovely analogy there, yeah. Come on, wake up.
Wake up, come on. So we've got our heavy duty pots, which we highly recommend for these because this tree has been grafted onto miniature rootstock. That's the grafting point there, which means this is never going to get too tall. 2.5, maybe 3 metres in height total, which is way shorter than standard cherry trees, and they will live in there quite happily for many years.
And that is a perfect pot for. I mean, you could put it in the border. It does want a nice sunny spot, well drained soil again, but it will be very happy living in those heavy duty pots. So add those to your order as well. But how wonderful to have your own cherries for many decades. And to eat a cherry straight off the tree, they always taste so much more delicious.
Oh, it tastes so good when you've grown it yourself.
Yeah, and so much better for the environment. No plastic use. No, when you think about cherries being transported across the world and the effect on the environment.
And the packaging and all the rest of it.
Grow some
Pick your own.
That is such a good price. And honestly, sorry, I'm going on a bit, but the garden centres will sell these trees in a pot just like that in summer for like £40, £50, maybe even more. To buy it as a bare root is the most affordable and clever way of having your own cherry tree. There you go. I'll get off my soapbox now.
That's it. Let's move on.
Get yourself a cherry tree.
Get yourself a cherry tree. Get yourself a hibiscus. This one is called Sugar Tip, and we like this for 2 reasons. First of all, the flowers. These are the double, ruffled, beautiful petals and flowers that you get on here. It's winter hardy. I say 3 things. It's totally winter hardy as well, unlike a lot of hibiscus, which it does need that extra winter protection. But finally, the foliage. The foliage that you get on the Hibiscus Sugar Tip is variegated, and that just provides such an extra layer of interest.
I mean, do you ever look at your garden and think, why did I buy that plant when there's a really better, nicer, more attractive variety? Now, I love my hibiscus, but this one, it outshines them a little bit.
It does a little bit, yeah.
It does.
Double flowers, variegated foliage, it's winter hardy.
So I've got single flowered hibiscus with just regular foliage. So that is on my list today, and one of the easiest plants again to grow. And I love the fact that It flowers late summer, so July onwards, so it fills that gap as things are dying down. Right, we are very busy today.
We are indeed. I've got loads of emails to go through in a little while as well, but we're going to take you back over to our favourites table, and this is the last time you're going to see the Physocarpus, the lady in red. We told you there's a stock warning on it. It's going to go.
Yeah, and that is only $3.99, so if you want it, remember you've got that beautiful foliage. You've got all of the flowers and the berries, but it is about to sell out. Right, the Sambucus Southern Gold is also proving really popular. And this is clever to buy it now. And, and it's not going to look its best right now because it's going to be losing its leaves. Maybe it's even lost all of its leaves by the time it arrives to you. That is not a problem because it's a fantastic time to plant it, to get it settled, and then you will reap the rewards next summer. And already you can see these are the new buds that will burst into foliage in round about March time. There you go.
Yep.
And one of the reasons I've got different Sambucus in my garden is because they are really quite fast growing, and I had a new garden, so I wanted plants to establish quickly. So they're quite fast growing. You've got, again, flowers, berries, stunning foliage. And the Southern Gold is all about the golds, the yellows, the ochres, the sort of like lime green colours that you've got there as well. It's a plant that is easy to grow. Quick in terms of its growth habit. What I would do if yours is this kind of shape when it arrives in springtime, I would cut it right back, so just above those lovely leaf buds that are just forming there, and then it will bush out even more. And they're very easy to cut back and to prune actually, because the stems are quite hollow. So even if it gets too big, you can really quite hard prune it back in spring.
Yeah, and it's recommended to do it because you'll get a much bushier plant from that as well.
I mean, honestly, I love. You've seen mine.
I know, it's gorgeous.
Yeah. Right, Callistemon. Now this is a new one for us.
New one for us. Beautiful colour, lime greeny coloured flowers that you get from here. Those bottle brush flowers. But I also like the fact that this one is a little bit more compact than other Callistemon as well. So you've got a unique colour going on here. I've never seen it growing anywhere. I'll probably spot it loads now, but I haven't actually spotted it. I've never seen it.
We'll give you the details because it's only £20. Only joking, it was $3.99.
I was thinking that, well, hang on.
$3.99. No, I didn't even know this colour existed.
No, I know. And as I say, it'll grow that little bit more compact. So about 1 metre by 1 metre is all we're talking about here. So I think it works great in all gardens. Doesn't matter if you've got a bigger garden, but I'm talking specifically to people who've got slightly smaller gardens. That's going to work perfectly.
I'm just wondering if we just got a clearance stock from, from somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, it's there. It's $3.99. It will need a little bit of protection in the winter. So do bear that in mind. We say hard it's about -4, -5, but with it being a young plant, I would definitely put it in your greenhouse, or if you've got a potting shed with a little window, put it there, or put a little fleece over it on those really cold, chilly nights. Right.
Sempervivum for you next.
Like
this one's called Gold Nugget, and they really are little nuggets of gold, aren't they? They're fantastic. The colour display that you get from these throughout the seasons is perfect. They're evergreen, so they're there all year round, and they can cope in poor soil, dry. In fact, they want dry soil as well. Don't overwater them, but really low maintenance and loads of colour displays you get from them.
And what we've done, we've just literally taken some little babies. You can literally pull those off. They're already rooted. We pop them in some of our premium professional compost. We've got some brand new plants there. So that is definitely going on my list today. I've already got Sempervivums, but that one is particularly colourful and always changing colour from green to reds and gold and yellows as well. $5.65, $3.4 for the Sempervivum Gold Nugget there, saving £6 today. Amazing value. Right. Jack Frost is coming up next. It has been hugely popular. It's this one here. It's great for those difficult shady areas. Now you've got heart-shaped leaves, you've got beautiful silvery colours, you've got veining in those leaves. Then you're going to get all of these delicate little flowers as well. But it will die down in winter, so it is herbaceous. It'll die right the way down, come back in springtime. I'm never going to go too big, but ideal to, I think, sit amongst your ferns, some of maybe other shade-loving plants. Do you know what I'm thinking? Because I've got I'm just thinking where my castor oil plant is, my japonica. around the base of that could look nice, couldn't it?
That would look beautiful.
Ah.
There you go.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it really would.
Yeah.
Doesn't get too tall, but spreads outwards,
Yeah.
you know, by about a couple of feet. The frosting, the flowers that you're going to get in springtime. It's one of my absolute favourites. I love this one.
Yes, and it has been selling really, really quickly today.
Multi-order that one, multi-order.
Are you enjoying our clearance? We are.
I
Can you
think
tell?
everybody is,
Yeah,
you know.
good.
Yeah, I've got some pictures to show in a little while. Thanks all for
Yeah, we
sending
will.
in images and things.
It's
I'll
just
show
really
them
busy,
soon.
so we will come to
We'll
all of
get there, I
those.
promise.
Now, we want you to save loads of money today. So, get your order to over £40 and you'll get free delivery.
Yes.
And getting some of our premium official compost is one of the easiest ways to do that. And you always need compost, don't you?
Always need compost.
Mine arrived yesterday, actually.
Did it?
Yeah.
What are you going to be doing? What else you got to do? What else you got to do, Shaun?
I've still got a few of my winter pots to do.
Right.
I've still got... My mum said, you've still not done my hanging baskets.
I love your mum.
Yeah. Yeah, I've still not done my mum's hanging... Sorry, Mum. But
They're busy.
I've got my mum's winter hanging baskets to finish. What else? To be honest, I've got loads of... I mean, I've got to place a big order today, but I've got quite a few perennials that I need to put in the ground.
There you
And I
go.
always put a bit of our compost around them in the potting. I'll always do that.
It's great to do it because it's packed with amazing ingredients. So when you know when you hear people say put some good organic matter in the planting hole, this could be that organic matter, honestly, because what you've got in here is really well composted wood fibre. It's made up of about 50% composted wood fibre, and you can see all that fibrous material in there. That opens up the texture of this compost. It makes it really light and airy and friable, which means that root growth in here is amazing. It makes your plant grow the strongest root systems. Strongest roots, bigger, better plants.
Now, this is the pub garden that I look after, and I planted this up about 4 weeks ago. Do you know what? The violas are looking amazing.
Are they?
Yeah, they really are. Like, it's incredible in 4 weeks. Yeah, because the weather's not been great either. But yeah, they are just covered in flowers. But it is for everything. Those are some of the perennial collection, the perennial plug plants that we've potted up as well. So it's our best-selling product at Yew Garden. It's the compost we use on the nursery. So anything we grow, anything we pot on, is done in this compost.
There's loads of things with it in right now. In fact, I'm just looking at that Brunnera, that Jack Frost. I'm pretty sure that's our compost in there. And there's loads of pots I can see that's got our compost in. The Phlox that we're going to go to, that's in there. The Lavatera that you've had this year, that was one that we've grown on ourselves as well.
And just quickly, I'm going to talk about price, because I have been to quite a few garden centres and DIY stores recently. And we don't claim to be the cheapest, but actually, when you become a club member, you get 100 litres for £22.48. It's worth becoming a club member. It's £5 for the year on auto renewal. So £5, do it today, and you'll save 10% on everything, including your compost. So actually, most people only pay £22.48 for 100 litres. Then your free gift today, even if you just bought the compost with free delivery, you're going to get the Blooming Fast. That makes 100 litres of our premium feed. That is worth a £5. So suddenly you take a £5 off the £22.48, £17.50 for 100 litres.
For the best compost as well. And I know we get on our soapbox when we talk about this compost, but we know how good it is. Our regulars, I know that you know how good this is as well. This is very much for anybody new that's never tried this compost before. If you change one thing in your gardening habits, we always recommend change your compost to this, because it really does make such a big difference. There's a bit peat in here. There's a few different types. Some of it's renewable. We've got sphagnum moss peat. That's fine. That's renewable. The other types that aren't renewable, we've really reduced it down. It's only minimal amounts, but we're still getting all those amazing results from it.
Yeah, and then everything else there, slowly fertiliser, that will give your plants food for 5-6 months. You've got a wetting agent. Now, that sounds, a wetting agent, by the way, when you water the compost, it just makes the water stick to the compost and reabsorb quickly. Sounds ridiculous, but I went to the pub garden yesterday and a few things looked really droopy. I was like, what's wrong with those? And they dried out. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I was shocked that, because the weather's been, well, obviously we've not had a lot of rain.
We haven't had a lot of rain.
Yeah,
that's
and
the
I think
thing.
it's been a bit windy where I live.
Yeah.
But I watered everything, and it just, again, it was so lovely to water and not get the water just going over the sides of the baskets and containers. So it is a brilliant compost. Great deal today. Get it ordered, and make sure you never run out, because it's really frustrating when you do run out and you have to buy an alternative. Best-selling products we do, highly rated. Most of the reviews are 5-star, 100, 125. Right, we have also got some beautiful bark.
The Bark mulch, yeah, so it's back at our best price, and this is something you might want to invest in at the moment. Norfolk Eco, I saw your comment earlier, you've been mulching away like mad, ready for that cold weather to come, and that's exactly one of the reasons that you would use this for. So it's a 70-litre bag, this is what it looks like, and it is a fantastic mulch. So this is about giving your plants the extra duvet, that winter protection that they need, so that they can get through those cold months and give you all those gorgeous displays next year. But Shaun, I know you were using this in your pub garden, not just for mulch.
No, these containers, these two, were really problematic because the Euonymus was just zapping the life out of everything. And I was just sick of the weeds as well. So I just covered these with our ornamental spruce bark. And do you know what? It's tidied it all up. It looks so much neater. I think the Euonymus looks really more striking. It stands out more. And that took me, well, you can see that, a few minutes. And I didn't use a lot either. No. Really didn't. But it just neatens everything up. And a lot of our regulars have been using this in their pots and their containers, beds and borders. So many different uses. But for me, it's just suppressing those weeds and making everything look neat and tidy.
Definitely.
It's really good.
So it's multi-purpose. It's only $14.99 or $13.49 if you're in the club for that 70-litre bag. Might want to think about grabbing some of that at the moment.
And I know Elaine bought, I can't remember,
loads of them, wasn't it?
10 bags, but it looks really good. Right, we've also got a really good deal on our straw, which is a mineralised straw. We were talking about slugs earlier, and it has been a really challenging year in terms of slugs and snails because we call it the year of the slug here in the UK.
Definitely.
The slugs even made the news. I remember tuning on the news a few months ago, and there was a feature about the problems of slugs in the UK with it being so wet nowadays. We did a twin pack for $36.97, and this is a brilliant slug deterrent. So it doesn't kill slugs and snails because obviously we need them for biodiversity in our gardens, and we want the hedgehogs to be happy, etc. But what it does, when the slugs go anywhere near it, they just do not like the texture and they move on. So any particular plants that are prone to being eaten by slugs, just put a little bit of slush around, not call it slush, slush rather, around the plants. I mean, things like lupins, they can be eaten away overnight, and it's often that new growth, isn't it? That
just about to say that, yeah. So it'll give them the winter protection now that they need, but then when it gets to springtime and that new growth comes through, it's going to stop them from being able to munch on that.
Yeah. But it isn't just about slugs, is it, Bex?
No, winter protection, weed suppressant, helps to retain moisture, so many different reasons to get hold of that.
It's effective and active, we said, for about 2 years, but then after that, if you just actually dig it into your ground, if you've got maybe heavy soil like Bex has, clay soil, it just really helps improve the structure as well.
It does indeed.
That's big.
It's big, isn't it?
That's big.
That's a big plant right there. It's the cordyline lime passion, one of the most popular sellers. It's huge, it's beautiful, and if you want to create something stunning in your garden instantly, this is what I really enjoy about this. This is how it'll probably come to you. It'll be tied up like this. You'll take it out the box, and then you'll let it go, and bam, you have instant impact, architecture and beauty. The size of that for the price is just bonkers.
I remember in summer, some of the garden centres and supermarkets, my local supermarket, they had the tiniest cordylines, and they were, I think they were, well, $6.99, $7.99, but they were tiny.
Yeah.
Really tiny. These are huge. Let us know if you're buying those, and a lot of you have placed your orders. Highly recommend that. That is $6.99. That's a lime passion. And then also we have got the little red star, which is a completely different colour, a lot more compact, but again, equally as beautiful.
In our compost as well.
Oh yes, of course.
Definitely, that's our compost right there. I love the burgundy colours. You hear us talk about the burgundy colours so very often here at Yew Garden, because it provides contrast. You know, if you put this in amongst all your other green plants, it highlights those, and those highlight it, which is why it's a valuable one.
And actually, just stand behind it, Bex, because you're in green. See, doesn't that really stand out?
It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I love it. It's so important in garden design, honestly. Yeah. And I'm not saying we all have to turn into garden designers, but it's just carefully placing those things. In fact, was it this one? No, it was Charlie Boy, wasn't it, that Tony had, which is a similar colour. But as a central focal point in a planting display, it is mwah. Love it.
Right, Elaine has got us a little question.
Got a question about the Jack Frost, apparently.
Go on,
YouTube,
Elaine.
I'm assuming. Is it popular with slugs? Ooh. Do you know, I'm not sure, Elaine, actually.
I tell you what, it's not on the top list, because I remember looking at the top 10 plants, Would look that it's not right up there, Elaine. I know that much. So it's.
I'm doing a search for you.
I'm sure it's not in the top 10.
Potentially, yes, is the answer. Yes, slugs and snails will have a nibble on Brunnera if they fancy. So, a little bit of extra protection.
Yeah.
Get yourself some
Great
stress
question,
around
though.
that. Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
because I wasn't sure on that. So, yeah, it's good to know. Oh, who says that? Glyn apparently says he thinks that he uses Strolch and it seems to stop the cats using his garden as a toilet.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll add that to the marketing on the front of the packet
Yeah,
of
why
Strolch.
not?
Yeah, cat deterrent too.
Oh, I've dropped a pot.
Cats are naughty. I've got a cat. They are naughty. It's very frustrating when your neighbour's got a cat and the cat always comes. I'm lucky because we live in the country, so the cat tends to just go in the field.
There's loads of cats in my street. They all come into my garden.
Do they?
I don't mind.
Awesome.
I don't mind. Right, we're back onto the cherry tree. This one is the sweet Stella cherry. It's a bare root tree. So first of all, you get amazing value buying a bare root tree. But you don't normally get this amazing value because we're on clearance. We are going to provide this bare root tree to you, which is already nice and big, for $6.29 if you are a member of our club. $6.99 if you're not. What you will get from here are bunches of these cherries. And once this gets fruiting in a few years' time, my word, you'll be amazed at how many fruits this will produce.
Oh, God. $6.99. Absolutely amazing value and a beautiful tree that will never grow too big, so you will be able to reach and enjoy all of those cherries. And don't forget, you get the stunning blossom as well. Right, loads of you ordering today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very important, you need to use the offer code today, YGTV4624, and that unlocks all of the promotions, and it will give you your free gift. And if you spend over £40, you will get free delivery as well. But promise me, use that code. It's really annoying. Occasionally, the odd customer forgets to use the code.
Yes.
And you'll end up paying so much more.
We don't want you to do that.
We don't.
Can I just do a couple of emails, Stu, please? Right, Grimmy has sent us a question. First of all, he says, hi. Hi all, my salvia is still in full flower.
Mine
Yes,
is too.
I know. I've seen a few of them out lately. So this is Hot Lips.
Yeah.
He's asking when to prune this back.
I normally do mine sort of March time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
early spring. Once you start seeing some of the new growth coming through, then don't chop those flowers off. Leave the flowers. You don't need to worry about it over winter, and then just prune it back early spring when you start seeing new growth.
I have to say, Grammy, mine it looks just like yours, and it's made me think I want some more because they've flowered, haven't they? Like since like May, June time, and they've never stopped.
That's why we love the salvias. They're amazing.
And you never have to do anything to them.
John has sent us some pictures. He's just sort of sent us the colour still going on in his garden. Is that a snapdragon?
It is.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely. Oh, some kind of geranium there.
Yeah.
That's not Roseanne, is it?
No.
But it looks like a geranium of some kind. I like the colour. And the fatsia behind, look.
Yeah, we can see that.
Lovely.
Oh,
some kind of
our little primroses,
primrose.
Our little primroses and primrose all coming out.
Oh, wow. That's the
Fire queen,
isn't
geranium.
it? Oh, mine went ages ago. You're doing very well. Yeah.
Mine are still
and
going.
the Alstroemeria. Look at that against that sort of stone wall. That looks so good, doesn't it?
That little lizard up the side as well.
I love it. Very good job. Well done.
But I was just reading like comments on social media and stuff. So many bizarre things happening in the gardens because it's been so warm, hasn't it? Mild.
Oh, hang on. Let me just check. Andrew, whose garden we know is beautiful.
Andrew's got an amazing garden.
What he said is the Nandina has coloured up well this autumn-winter garden this morning. Do you know, funny enough, so I planted all my pots up with all my bulbs in, and actually I've put my Nandina as my central focal point on my table outside.
Oh, like
Because obviously
it.
all the pots are just empty at the moment, but the Nandina is the focal point because, yes, it looks amazing. It colours up so beautifully. Look at all those things he's got.
I love his garden.
So good. Look at that.
Right, now I'm getting envious.
Andrew, you've got such a good garden. Well done to
Hey,
you.
Andrew, look at the cordylines, you see. You know, we've got, obviously, the cordylines on the show today, everybody. That, to me, is perfect. There
pairing.
you go.
That pairing is perfect.
Yeah.
That pairing is perfect.
So if you want to go for the Lime Passion cordyline state at 6.99 with a little red star, that's the kind of... And to me, that really creates a beautiful entrance,
it's a
that pathway.
welcoming entrance, isn't it? Oh, Amanda sent us pictures of her
Heuchera.
indoor plants. So she says, here's my indoor plants I've got from you. That's the Heuchera aquatica.
7!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, go buy a lottery ticket because I reckon you'll be doing all right with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 leaves on that one. If you watch our indoor plant stuff, if you're on TikTok, we do a lot of indoor plants on there. We do talk about the Heuchera and how the more leaves you've got, the luckier it is.
Supposed to just have 5, but if you get a 6 or a 7...
She's got a Boston fern as well, potted up. Oh, and she got the yellow pot. She got the yellow textile. Well done, Amanda. And the
pitcher plant.
Trumpet pitcher plant. Oh, and the Cody and Petra, the Joseph's coat. Oh, looking good, Amanda. Very
Amanda.
Good. Nice.
Fabulous.
And
fabulous. Love it.
Kenneth has asked us a question. Morning stew and crew. Oh, I like that.
Are we the crew now?
We're crew.
Yeah.
I like it. I have a question. Can you grow the gold nugget as a windowsill plant? Thanks, Ken.
You can grow them inside.
I think you can.
No, you can.
Yeah,
no, absolutely.
I think it'd be absolutely fine, and it'll love that spot. Bright, sunny spot.
Absolutely
indoors.
fine. Yeah, at the end of the succulent, just make sure they're in really well-drained soil, lots of grit, lots of gravel.
They actually quite like poor soil, to be honest with you.
But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's it. Thank you so much for all your questions, for your pictures. We love it. If you want to send us anything, ygtv@yougarden.com. We're here for another hour and a half-ish. So, yeah, we might still have a chance to show some more pictures.
But we love it when you interact with us. We really do.
do.
So thank you so much. We are having a lovely time this Sunday morning. We really are. Right, it is, if you just joined us, it is a clearance show. And I'm going to put it out there. Sometimes a clearance show or a sale is a bit disappointing. Sometimes you look and think, that's not really a deal. But these are genuine. You know, these are really low prices. You will know if you're a regular and you're with us every week, these prices are the lowest that we've ever seen on many of the plants. So we just basically, this time we do reduce stock because we do get quieter. We do close for a couple of weeks over Christmas and things. So we are reducing stock just to make it a little bit easier at the nursery. So, you know, there's lots of plants right now that will not be coming back till next year, and you are getting that brilliant prices. Just quickly, I want you to save even more money. Bex and I really want you to get your plants for as little as possible. So do join the club if you're not a club member already. It's literally £5 for 12 months. And that's on auto renewal. You can cancel at any time, but it will give you all of these benefits. So 10% off every plant and accessory. Accessories are things like compost, strolch, the pots on the show, £5 off every outdoor living and gifts order. But for me, this is great. £20 of YouGarden vouchers to use throughout the year. So you get your 10% discount today if you join, and then next week, you'll get your vouchers sent through the post, and there'll be 4 £5 vouchers and exclusive offers, competitions and expert advice. Now, you've got two options. You can either go for the £5 auto renewal, and that was £20. That basically will give you all of those benefits, and it will automatically renew unless you cancel it. You do get an email telling you that it's going to renew, so you've got the option of cancelling it. Or the £10 is just a 1-year membership that will not renew. So for me, the best one is definitely the £5 one. So join the club now, and you'll get your discount on your very first order today, which is brilliant.
I just want to say sorry. Neil's saying in his Eclipse Square planter he's got his sweet peas in there. That's lovely. Elaine's putting strolch in her basket because obviously she's got the Jack Frost, so she wants to protect it.
Great
so
idea. And that was a good question, Elaine, because
really
we weren't 100% sure about that one.
And Elaine is also telling us how fantastic these prices are. And good morning, Ruth. She says, yes, I've been here watching.
I was hoping when you start that sentence, Elaine was saying how fantastic. I thought she was going to say how me and you were.
Yeah, but obviously.
I'm only joking. I'm only joking. We think you're fantastic, Elaine. She's one of our best customers, isn't she?
And
thanks to all of our makers. We appreciate every single one of you. And if you are new, it's lovely to have you on board as well.
Hopefully you become a regular as well.
Yeah.
Right, let's show you the Azalea Star Style. Another one that both Shaun and I have got in our garden.
We have.
Have you got this, Stu?
We like
You've got this at home already? let us know.
We
if
like
you
a bit of
haven't.
style, don't we? A bit of star style.
Absolutely.
It's a very unusual azalea, though, this one.
Yeah, it is. It's lovely because what I quite like about this is the flowers that you get on here, which are bright pink, real kind of hot pink colour. The shape of them actually matches the shape of the leaves, which works really, really well. So it flowers sort of between May and August. Now you get a big flush of those flowers initially, but then it doesn't stop. You do seem to just get these random flowers that come out, and a second flush of them that happens sort of towards the end of the summer season as well. It is very unique. It's a bit of a showstopper. It looks quite exotic, but it is totally winter hardy and very low maintenance. The only thing we need to tell you about this is it needs the ericaceous compost.
It does. It wants acid soil. So if you haven't got acid soil, you need to get some ericaceous compost and plant it in that and mix it. I love the fact it's compact. So I've got an acid-loving border, and I've got other azaleas that are really quite big, but this is great. It's more ground cover, so it doesn't get much taller than that, actually. But it's a bit like me. It's not getting any taller nowadays, but it's just spreading out slightly.
It'll probably go to about double the width of its height. It'll get to about 40 centimetres, but it can spread by sort of 70 or 80 centimetres.
I mean, look at the size of that already, Bex.
I keep mine in a pot,
Look
so
at it.
I'm not letting it spread outwards, but it's luscious, it's beautiful, it looks good all year round.
Really unusual. Now, we work very closely with some of the biggest rose breeders in the UK. Harkness roses, of course.
Yeah, and this is a Harkness rose. This is called the Wellbeing. And Harkness are well known for, well, amazing roses, disease-resistant, quality roses. They won 25 silver...
Gold.
Sorry, gold.
Yeah.
25 gold medals.
I mean, they have won a lot of
Chelsea.
silver as well, but 25
Loads of
golds.
silver gilt medals as well. So these are the kinds of roses that win awards, and that's what we're bringing you here. Exceptionally large flowers you get with this one, and it's very petalicious.
And I know Stu went down to see the breeders at Harkness. It was fascinating. And when they breed a new rose, they'll start off with maybe 30,000 and then just whittle it down and down and down. And only the strongest survive. So, the rose will be bred and developed for many, many years. And then, eventually they will end up with a really beautiful rose that is disease resistant, that is repeat flowering. And they've been breeding roses, I think I'm going to say 1879.
Yeah, I know it's over 180 years or something, isn't it? No,
145, I think.
There you go. A lot of years.
I only know because I was at the Harkness stand. I remember being at the stand at Chelsea. Yeah, so yeah.
Long time.
Yeah, but I mean, they are incredible, and they are known for their amazing breeding. This rosa, I mean, the colour is incredible. But like what you were saying about the petals, Bex, it's dense, isn't it?
Yeah, it has this lovely sort of soft pink outer, and then it goes into this gold and amber colour in the middle. But it's the way that it's the petals form in rings, and they're so densely packed, and then it just opens up, and you get a beautiful scent from it as well. I love rose scents. I really do, and they range so much, which is what I enjoy.
Can I just point out as well? It isn't a bare root. We do sell bare roots.
Very true. Yeah.
And actually, bare root roses, I mean, it's easy to plant a bare root, but a bare root I would expect to be more than the price of this potted rose. So a lot of the work's already been done with this one, but it's only $13.49. I love roses.
Big fan of roses.
Yeah, I was at friend Vicky's last night, and she we did a dinner party, and she just bought some cut roses, and they looked amazing.
Yeah.
Just 6, I think,
This
7
is what
roses in the vase.
This is what I think you need to do with that extra bit of land that you've just invested in. I think you need to create a rose garden.
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
I do. I think you should plant it, fill it with roses, because I know you want to do a bit of grow your own as well, but a section of it which is just roses.
I love that idea.
I think you should.
As a child, our front garden was a rose garden.
Yeah.
And it was amazing, it really was.
You get months of flowers, right the way through from May to now. My Arthur Bell is still giving me... There's rose buds appearing, because we're in a weird year, aren't we? But normal flowering season, May right the way through to October, for minimal maintenance.
But remember, that is a Harkness rose. And I'm going to say I think Harkness are the best rose breeders in the UK. Right, we have got my favourite plant.
Yeah.
This is actually my favourite perennial, and it's known as Verbena bonariensis. And... do you know, I only planted mine 2.5 years ago. There they are. And they were really even looking pretty good this morning. I mean, a lot of the flowers have gone over, but they still look really attractive. They really do. But these have flowered all summer long. They started to flower sort of like end of June time. The bees, the butterflies have loved them. But I love the fact that you can see through Verbena. So they never get too dense. They never overtake. They are brilliant at planting between other shrubs and plants and just giving you an absolutely outstanding look. And what I did, I planted them across that side of the patio because it looked so sharp and I didn't know what to do with it, but I didn't want to lose the view. So that to me looks incredible. And you've got a few of these, haven't you, Bex?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, they're in the back of the border there. They work beautifully with all the other plants.
Yeah.
I've got it planted with I've got it planted in the border where I've got the Rudbeckia, where I've got the geranium roseanne, the Erigeron, the bowls mauve,
Lovely.
and it just works so well. It adds height to the border, but it works well with the other plants.
And what I'm going to say, because you're buying a really established Verbena,
Yeah,
this comes in the 17 centimetre pot.
Hang on.
Next year, this will grow really tall. So I would expect this to be 1.5 metres up to about 1.180 metre next year, because it's really well established.
Yeah.
So you're not going to have to wait on this one. Those roots are incredible.
Yeah, so good. Very little maintenance for you to do. Just leave it, let the bees and the butterflies adore that plant, and it will self-seed. So you'll get loads of these plants for free next year as well.
It would appreciate a really sunny spot.
Yeah.
So where mine are planted, it's south-facing, and they get sun all day, and they love it. Now, this is one of your mum's favourites, isn't it?
My mum loves Heuchera, yeah.
Yeah.
She, and I'm speaking for her, I don't know for sure, but I think the reason that she likes these is that they're really low maintenance. They look good all year round. This one's a semi-evergreen one, so you might lose some of the leaves on this one, depends on where you plant them. But it generally is a low maintenance plant, looks great all year round, and you get these lovely sort of pink flowers that rise up above the foliage as well. I mean, the foliage is really interesting. It reminds me a bit of the Brunnera because you've got the lovely sort of veining running through and the frosting look to the leaves as well. But yeah, just low maintenance, easy, winter hardy. All they really want is a bit of a sunny position, and they'll just do their own thing. Which I like that. We need a bit of low maintenance in our gardens, don't we?
We do. No, I've got mine. I've got something shady, quite fairly shady.
Yeah, to be honest, so sun or a part shade position.
I was going to say mine do okay in the sort of like
they will be fine in a part shade position. That's what kind of makes them quite a versatile plant, really. That you could grow them in pots, you could grow them at the front of borders. They don't get massive. They get about 30 centimetres height. They'll spread by a little bit more than that. But yeah, totally versatile and totally easy.
And I have learned, because I've got them in various parts. The ones under the tree, they do fine, but they do sometimes dry out there. They don't like. They like to be fairly moist, don't they?
Yeah, agree. Yeah,
but they're easy. Yeah,
they're
lovely.
not drought tolerant, I wouldn't say.
No. Then we've got phlox for you next.
Yeah, 3 different types of phlox.
Now we are going to be honest. We talk about this. We're not sure why they're called ground cover, because they actually go quite tall, don't they? But
they can get a good 3 feet in height, but they will spread by a couple of feet as well, up to about 50 centimetres. Yeah. So I guess they're going to fill an area in your garden.
But they're not like the carpet phlox we had a few weeks
ago. No, they're not low growing like those, but they're a cottage garden staple. Incredibly pretty flowers that last for such a long time. They come out in the middle of summer, July time, and they go right the way through to September, even tickling their way through into October as well. They're loved by wildlife. They're a definite pollinator friendly one. RHS have given them the badge that says perfect for pollinators, and quite low maintenance as well. It just requires a little bit of deadheading. You could even cut these. You could even use these within cut flower displays as well, because you'll get loads of them. So you would be able to use them for cut flowers too. And you're getting 3 varieties. So one's called Bright Eyes, which is the pale pink one. That's got a lovely scent. We've got one called Laura, which is the purpley coloured one. And then we've got the Blue Paradise, which is violet coloured blooms on there with the darker centres.
No, really, I love the flowers.
Yeah.
Just 5 petals, really pretty. And again, we'll come back every single year. $8.99, $5.61. $2.66 for the Phlox Paniculata collection there at $8.99. So if you have just joined us, good morning. What's happening today?
Clearance.
It is. It's a brilliant show. It really is. And there's nothing that gives us more pleasure than getting some bargains when it comes to plants. You know what I mean? If you're a gardener, come on, that buzz when you get a plant for a really good price.
This is why it's great to shop at this time of year, honestly, because there's still stuff we can do in the garden. And even if you're not ready to plant these out yet, the majority of what we're bringing you today will just live happily in the pot that it's in. All you've got to do is obviously just keep on top of any watering for the 9 centimetres, but ultimately grab the bargain while we've got it, and then you'll be thanking us this time next year.
And looking at it, think pretty much everything I would say is winter hardy, with the exception of the Callistemon.
Mostly.
Really, yeah.
Oh, apparently we're going to be surprised by what the favourites are.
Oh.
Exciting. He's going to show it to us in order of
What, starting with
today.
the most popular? Right.
Okay.
So just quickly though,
Pens
it
and
is a
papers.
clearance. When things have gone, they may not come back until next year. Some things are maybe not come back at all. Spend over £40, you get free delivery. Use that code and you get all of the promotions and the free gift as well. YGTV 4624. Right, so what do you think is most popular?
I'm going to go... well, we're going to be surprised. So I was going to say Jack Frost, but it's not going to be. I'm going to go... Sempervivum.
Cordyline.
The
Foxglove.
How cool.
Do you know why I think people are buying in bulk on that one? I'm really pleased that's nipped into pole position. I am. Now, Foxgloves, they love a sort of like semi-shady position. They're great for the back of the border. The benefit, again, of buying one in a 2 litre pot, it's already well established. Because if you plant Foxgloves from a smaller plant, normally in the first year they don't get to full height, so it can be a bit shorter, but these should really get to a magnificent height next summer. And Foxgloves, I know a lot of you multi-ordering these. I think they look best in groups of 3s and 5s and 7s. That's how Foxgloves work. And if you've got maybe a long border and you want a magnificent displays at the back of that border, I would plant several clumps of these all the way along and they will look really good. So a lot of orders going through for those. They are reduced in price from $12.99 to $3.99, 5 to 1, 553. Now, also really popular today is the Perovskia, known as Russian sage. Very interesting plant, this one. It's got the OHS Award of Garden Merit, so it means it's a tried and proven plant to grow in the UK. It likes the same conditions as lavender, so full sunshine, well-drained soil, pool soils are fine, but it's got a completely different fragrance. So it smells of kind of like sage with a bit of citrus in there, but ideal for all of your pollinators as well. Will lose its leaves in the winter, but will burst back next year. Grows a little bit taller than some lavenders as well, 560-949. Now, you've also loved the sweet cherry Stella, and it's a bare root, ready to plant right now. It could be grown in a 30 litre pot, or it can be grown in the ground, just wants a nice sunny position to ripen those cherries. But next year, you may well get a few cherries, you might not. But year 2, year 3, you'll start getting kilos and kilos of delicious sweet cherries. And the Stella variety is generally known to be the most popular, the sweetest, the most delicious here in the UK, and that's 300,005. Right, the Agapanthus, I'm amazed actually we've got any of these remaining, but we are talking a very tiny handful. It's a huge plant and it's only $17.99, so if anyone wants this, you need to check out your basket now rather than later. 680-130. It's one of the big Agapanthus, so it's going to grow to about 1 metre, maybe even taller actually, some of those flower stems. Loves a really, really hot, sunny border. These come from South Africa, so they do like a really, really hot spot. 680-130. Now, for shady areas, we have got the Callistemon, the Callistemon lanosa, the hairy lip fern, which is a beautiful evergreen compact fern. It's reliable, it's hardy, it's easy, it's generally disease resistant, slug resistant, and for me, it's just all about that really, really beautiful, beautiful foliage. Those fronds are exquisite, aren't they? It's a really stunning fern, that one. And you can double up and go for 2 and only pay £9.99 or £9 if you are in the club. Then the Sempervivum, this has also been popular, called Gold Nugget. So yes, you can. We had a question about this one. Can you grow it inside? Yes, you certainly could. But it's a succulent that is winter hardy. Again, sunny position. What makes it really nice though is the change in colour on this one. So it tends to be green in the summer, but in the colder months you get more reds and yellows and gold tones as well. Very easy to propagate. Any of the little, we call them chicks, any of the little babies around the side, you can literally just pull those out and repot them, and you've got free plants. 560, 534. They do flower, by the way, in summer as well. Tend to get little pink flowers. Then we've got, I think this is amazing. It's the Cordyline Lime Passion. It is £6.99. And we saw earlier that amazing garden with 2 cordylines either side of the pathway. This is what you do with cordylines. They're great at giving you structure. They're great at giving architecture, instant architecture. This one is, we class it as winter hardy. It's got our little frosty symbol, which means it's winter hardy, and you've got the most beautiful markings on this one. The margins of leaves are like cream, and then you've got dark greens and lime greens, a stunner at £6.99. They are big, by the way. I don't think you're going to get a little cordyline. We're talking about 50 to 60 centimetres. £6.80, £2.92. Then we've got our hibiscus. And it's a really lovely variety, this one, because it's first of all, it's a double. So it's not a single flower, it's a double. Then you've got variegated foliage. I've very rarely seen that on a hibiscus. It's a nice, easy one. So, again, a really sunny position. The more sun, the more flowers you'll get. Fully winter hardy. It will lose its leaves in the winter, and just to warn you, it's sometimes one of the last to burst back into life. Do not panic. But sometimes on a cold winter, it may take till May to get new foliage. But the flowers normally appear July, August, September. 511073. And then we've got our Siberian Bug Lost Jack Frost. Now, Elaine's gone for this. It's a shade-loving plant. Again, it dies down in the winter, bursts back in spring. You get all of these lovely little delicate, almost like forget-me-not flowers as well. Very easy in general to grow because it's a nice shaded position, and ideal to put amongst ferns and some of your other shade-loving plants. And that is 561053. Then we have got, that's the hibiscus which you loved, our really, really wonderful ornamental spruce bark mulch. Now, I say wonderful, it is. I've used it in the pub garden now in some of the containers. It neatens everything up, it suppresses weeds, it gives your plants an extra bit of protection, so anything that's a bit delicate, it could just help protect them over the winter months. It is great for children's play areas. It makes beds and borders easier to walk on, so it is multi-purpose and very, very attractive. I'm so glad I did that with those containers, because honestly, they just looked a mess. They really did. I couldn't really grow anything in them apart from the ornaments. Weeds kept appearing, but now they just look so neat and tidy. 100,061, and that's down from £29.98 to £14.99 or £13.49 if you are one of our club members. And then also, we talked about slugs earlier on, and they are a bit of a menace, but we still need them in the garden. We just don't want them to eat our plants. So if you put any plant that's a bit susceptible to slugs, if you just put a bit of straw around the plant, like we've done there with the lupins, it stops the slugs from eating the plants. They just don't like the texture of it, so they just move on elsewhere. It is also a brilliant weed suppressant. It can suppress weed growth by 95%. Oh, also good for retaining moisture around plants. So if it's a really hot summer next year, let's hope so. It protects and retains moisture, but also improves things like soil structure. If you dig it into your soil, once it's done its job, it can actually improve soil structure as well. And it's great for not just flowers, but your shrubs, your fruit, and your veg as well. We do say it stays effective for a couple of years. And then so you can dig it and improve the structure. Oh, but I did mention about the Erigeron, which we have got available today as well. 3 pots for £7.49, and I recently planted a little bit more in my garden. Well, this is where I've put Erigeron in my garden, because this whole board, I'll be honest, it's very rubbly. Haven't really worked out quite what to do with it, but I wanted ground cover, and there's only about 3 plants here. They've been here a couple of years, and they just flower all summer long for 6-7 months of the year. And what I've done, I've actually extended. So now, because they did so well there, and this is often a tip, if you see a plant doing well, then you might want to repeat it somewhere nearby or get a similar variety. So I've actually just planted a few more plants along here. And the great thing is they will just flower and flower all summer long. Each plant can get up to about 1 metre by 1 metre. The flowers change colour, so sometimes they're white, sometimes they're dark pink, light pink. And at the end of the year, All I'll do is literally trim them back and we'll do it all again next year and the year after and the year after. It's known as Mexican fleabane, that's the popular name for it. And it's one of those plants that will tolerate a very poor soil, likes lots of sun and needs very little love and attention. It's just a brilliant ground cover plant that will flower all summer long and produce thousands of flowers. And they're like little daisies, which I love.
You can see how that really does make a difference. Shaun actually used garden-ready plants there. You would be getting 3 of the 9-centimetre pots, even more established. Honestly, they really do fill so many gaps and fix so many problems. Flowering for such a long time. 560640 is your item number. If you were watching on Thursday, I'm sorry we didn't get to everything. So we're bringing you 2 plants that we didn't quite see. We're going to start off with one that Shaun actually bought. You did get this one, didn't you?
Yeah.
And it is the red flamingo, the Acer conspicuum, which is beautiful because, for a number of reasons. And now, when we first got this, I was like, it's not an Acer.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't like it. However, because I like the dissected leaves, I like the maple Acers. However, I really have learnt what an amazing plant this is, because there's lots to talk about here. The fresh growth that you get, the stems are this bright red or pinky colour. So you get real interest that happens with the new stems that come through.
I mean, that's really unusual for an Acer.
So unusual.
Yeah.
And actually, as it ages, this is known as a snake's bark variety. So you get this lovely mottling, this marking on the stems as well, which is perfect in winter time when it drops its leaves, because it does give you something interesting to look at. But it's the variegation on the foliage which really makes this stand out, which is one of the reasons you went for it.
Yeah, obviously I've got several Acers, but I always think Acers look good on mass. And I just love the colour of this. I thought the colour was of the leaves was absolutely. I mean, look at that.
Look,
That's
I mean,
why I
the
bought
variegation
it.
you've got, and how this is shining actually, because there's lights in here. How that is highlighted because of the light shining on it is. Look at the colours. Look at those amazing colours you've got on those leaves.
That's like
wow.
That's like Joseph's coat, isn't it?
It's so beautiful. And so you get
there you go, folks, look.
I mean, that's it when it's in full sort of leaf and it looks incredible. The foliage is marbled with these greens and pinks and greens. And that's
they can see it.
That's it, yeah, that's the snake's bark that you've got on there.
Now, mine has actually grown quite a lot in the first year.
Yeah, so this is actually quite a vigorous one. It's still, you know, relatively slow growing, but when you're talking about Acers, actually this one's quite a fast grower. It will get nice and big as well. This could potentially get up to 3 and 4 metres in height. It'll probably take a few years to get there, but if you want an Acer and you don't want to wait ages, then this is probably the variety to go for.
See, everything that Bex has just said, that's what made me buy it. I'm like, actually, that does tick so many boxes. Yeah. So an Acer that can grow taller, that is a little bit faster growing, that has the most amazing colour on the leaves.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't like it to start with.
I can't.
Foolish.
I was like, I love it.
What are you talking about?
Sometimes,
You know when you've just got an idea, and that's what I love about Acers.
I think it's because you I was going to say that's what it is with you.
That's
isn't it?
what I love about Acers, but this is beautiful.
This more than makes up for that in so many other ways. I'll be honest, what I would do with this one, I would probably give it a little bit of a trim in springtime. I would. I'd just let it bush out a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's minimal care and maintenance when it comes to your Acers. They really don't require pruning, literally just to shape them.
I'm going to buy that now then.
I might do, yeah.
Because you do love your Acers.
I do love my Acers, yeah. And it's a great price today. You're saving nearly £20 on that.
You imagine how difficult it is working here. When I say difficult, you imagine...
When you love plants and you love gardening... And we can't buy everything, because otherwise then I wouldn't be able to feed my children. They can cope without me.
I'm really joking. Now, we haven't seen the cork oak for a long, long time. And I think this is a really interesting plant.
I do as well. It's evergreen, first of all, so it's a great one to have in your garden, because it'll always have the foliage on there.
But yeah, it's I'm thinking about all the trees in my garden, and we're in mid-November. That actually looks really attractive, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Really attractive.
And it is a proper tree, okay?
Yeah,
so this will grow
this
into proper tree size. So you do need to have a bit of space for this, but obviously you can prune it back and keep it in shape and what have you. It's called cork oak because actually this is exactly the tree that they will create corks from. They have to be 25 years old in order to do that. It's the national tree of Portugal, but it is the tree that creates the material to create corks.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, over my lifetime, I have opened up quite a few bottles of wine.
I love a cork. I love a bottle with a cork in.
I do.
I mean, there's so many screw tops these days.
I
I love that. You get that noise when you open it.
Cork's used for so many other things as well, isn't it? But it's a really, I think, a very attractive tree. It really is. But it will go big, full tree size. So we are talking 12 metres plus.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So really,
over a few years.
Yeah. So, you know, think about where you are going to position it.
It wants to be in a sunny spot, so, you know, 6 hours worth of sun in the daytime, and that will really help it. But it's going to be really easy, very stunning. The fact that it's evergreen is amazing, and I love the fact that it, you know, it's got the story of the fact that you could make corks from it.
I just wonder why you don't see them very often in the UK.
True.
You don't, do you?
I don't, because they are winter hardy.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about the hardiness of them at all. They're absolutely fine.
I think it's really, really attractive. Really attractive, and only $18.99, 680 281. I mean, I'm thinking you could restrict the growth and grow in a pot, but you want a big pot.
Yeah, I mean, you can pretty much restrict the size of anything. Pretty much, that's where bonsai comes from. You can restrict the size of anything by growing it in a pot, for sure.
Yeah, right. We are really busy, so thank you so much.
Yes, we need to go back to that favourites table. Oh,
yes.
We've still got Physocarpus left.
We will find out.
Oh, all right. Sorry, Stu. Oh, my word.
Right, OK.
How dare I? Right, let's start off with the Jack Frost. This one is my favourite. This is my top pick of the show, just personally, because I've always loved them. I've always walked past them at garden centres thinking they're too expensive. I've always wanted one but never bought one because they are expensive. However, today, at just £4.49, which is the price I would pay as a club member, I am definitely going to get a couple of these. Now, there is a herbaceous perennial. It's going to die down. Don't worry about that, though. It is completely winter hardy. And then next year, you're going to start seeing this beautiful foliage growing through. It's a nice low-growing one, only reaching about maybe 45 centimetres in height. But it's a great ground cover one because it will spread by a couple of feet. And it's beautiful. Grows in a shady spot. So if you've got an area with your ferns in there, I think this is a lovely one to add in with the ferns to add contrast and texture. Great big heart-shaped leaves you get from these. A green undertone to them, but then this beautiful frosting. That's why it's called Jack Frost. This lovely frosting that happens on there. And then in springtime, this peppering of purple flowers, which really make it stand out. God. I adore it. It was our most popular one on Thursday. Slowed down a bit today, but I reckon you're going to start buying that one.
Yeah. Now, also really popular today is the Sempervivum Golden Nugget. Now, I've got lots of Sempervivums. I've got the little terracotta pots with gravel on my steps. But I think this one is one of the most stunning because the colours, you can get some really, I'm not going to say boring, but a lot of Sempervivums that I've got are just one colour, just green. This changes colour, so it'll be more green in the summer, but in the autumn and winter you start getting reds and yellows and ambers. And I love the way these grow because they just constantly produce little babies. And what we've done, we've literally taken off the chicks, we call them, potted them on in our premium facial compost, and we've got free plants there.
Yeah.
I mean, what is not to like about these? I'm just thinking as well, great for kids, great for low maintenance gardens. I think they look best in pots. You wouldn't, I mean, you could put them in the ground, but they look, I think, perfect in pots. Or actually, I have seen them on rockeries with lots of gravel. They look great in rockeries. Yeah, like that, yeah.
Somebody was asking earlier, I'm so sorry, I've forgotten who it was, but somebody was asking, could we keep them on a windowsill indoors? Yeah, absolutely. You could quite happily, if you were to grow these in pots and put them on a nice sunny windowsill inside. They're drought tolerant, they don't need loads of attention, and once you've got them, they're pretty hard to kill, so you'll always have them. They are.
Just don't ever let them get waterlogged.
Yeah.
That's really cute, isn't it?
Love it.
I think they are adorable and so easy.
So easy.
Yeah, I'm making my little list in that. Not actually, I say little list. It's quite a big list today.
Big list, isn't it? Always.
I'm definitely going for that one. Now, something that has really excited both. What's that, Bex?
Kick the table. It's fine.
So something that's really excited both of us. We have got a Callistemon called Honeypot, which we did not even know existed until a few days ago. We're very familiar with Callistemons, but we just didn't know that there was one that this colour. I've never seen this colour abroad.
No, I've never seen it, honestly, anywhere. And I like this one because it's a bit more compact than other Callistemons. So the red and the pink that we do, they get a bit taller. But this one, more compact, should only ever get to about a metre in height and spread here. It's evergreen as well, which I really like. You know, as an Acer lover, loads of deciduous plants in my garden, it's important to mix in a few evergreens, and this is one of them. The foliage, actually, when you sort of crush it, it releases a lemon scent, which is really interesting. Needs a little bit of protection, this plant, so we call it a half-hardy one. You're going to need to fleece it in the winter time, and obviously this is a smaller one, so yeah, just give it a bit of winter protection this year, and you'll be delighted with the results you get from that. Pollinators adore it as well, as we can see there.
I'm definitely getting that. I'm going to keep mine in my greenhouse, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I will. But it could stay outside, just give it a little fleece, as we say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But look at the colour.
No, it's incredible.
See, I like the idea. If you've already got Callistemons, I love the idea of grouping them together and having the different colours.
It'd be very tropical, wouldn't
it?
Well, I mean, it's not, but it would look it for sure.
And that is a 511556. Right. Have we got any of our Lady in Red left? Have we? Single figures now.
Okay, so this is your chance to get hold of it. It is a stunning shrub, this, because it creates this wine red coloured foliage, but it doesn't stop there. You actually get these clusters of pink-white flowers on there, and it will produce berries in autumn time as well. It'll drop its leaves, so don't worry about it over the winter months when it turns into twigs. Probably. Don't worry about that. It will then burst into life again. It can grow quite big, probably to about 1.5 meters, so it's going to be the perfect plant for putting into a border somewhere, and it could probably cope with a sort of part shady position too, so you don't have to find the sunniest spot.
I just don't know. I've never grown that.
I don't know, because I did a show, you must have been off somewhere, but I did a show with Adam.
I remember, yeah, he uses it a lot, doesn't he?
He was talking about it a lot, that he uses it in his planting schemes and things in people's gardens. It's an award winner. It's got the RHS Award of Garden Merit.
It is about to sell out. Right, also really popular today, we have got the Sambucus, which is the gold nugget variety. No, it's not. What did I just call it? Gold nugget? No.
No, that's the Sempervivum.
Yeah. But it's still got gold in it, but it's Sutherland gold. Even more gold. And I remember just seeing this on the nursery. Well, we both did, didn't we?
Yeah, it looks
in the
so
height
good.
of summer, and it looks magnificent. So this is what your Sambucus Sutherland gold will look like next summer. Hello there, this is the Sambucus Sutherland Gold, and I mean, it just looks magnificent right now on the nursery. I've got Sambucus in my garden. I chose them because they're relatively quick to grow. They're very easy, actually, and this one does have the RHS Award of Garden Merit as well. Now, it reminds me a little bit of an Acer, and it's nothing to do with the Acer family. In fact, it's part of the elderflower family. But because of the serrated foliage, I don't know, it just always reminds me a little bit of Acers, but nothing like them. This is something that will do very nicely in a part shady position. Doesn't mind a little bit of wind, anything like that. It is fully winter hard. It's about -10. And on top of the gorgeous foliage that you'll get with the Sambucus, you also get little flowers, you get berries as well. It loses its leaves in the winter, but as I say, winter hardy to -10. And then it comes back every year, and it is really quite fast growing. And this at full height can be up to about 4 meters as well. So yeah, an absolutely gorgeous plant. Arrives in that big 3-litre pot and will give you wonderful foliage throughout the summer, and the flowers and the berries as well. Aren't they magnificent? Right, we've nearly seen everything in our clearance show. A lot of you have got many plants, I'm sure, in your baskets. So if you have got any items that are very low in stock, then do check out your baskets. I know we're going to be live for another hour, but it is important on some of the limited stock items that you do check out. And honestly, I'm not just saying it, like the Agapanthus, we literally have got less than 10 of those remaining.
I know, it's such a busy show, honestly. We had a really busy one on Thursday, and this week is shaping up to be exactly the same way. We've pretty much shown you almost everything. Yeah, we've just got that one table to do, and then that's going to be it.
And let us know if there's anything that you particularly want to see. Again, let us know if you get any questions as well. Now, I could not believe the price of the hornbeam, and I'm not just saying this. So, many of you will know that me and my partner Jay, we bought a house about 6-7 years ago, and knocked it down and rebuilt. And we started from scratch pretty much with the garden. And that meant having to put in lots of hedges because we live in the country and it's very exposed. And we did a variety of hedges and different types of plants. When I say different types, some were bare roots, some were in like Hessian bags, some were in pots. The most expensive out of all the hedges were the ones that were in pots.
Yep.
They're the ones that actually established the fastest, as you can imagine, because these are already well established. Now, I cannot, and I mean this, I cannot believe the price of the hornbeam that we've got right now. Now, one of these for $12.49.
You'd be quite pleased with that.
I would. I actually would.
Very pleased with that.
But you're going to get 3. So if you've got maybe an aspiration to have a hedge in your garden, this is how you do it on a budget. Now, I think the price is completely crazy, completely wrong. We did sell a lot of these during the week, and I think a lot of you obviously bought several of them because you wanted to plant hedges. And hornbeam, I think, as a natural looking hedge, is magnificent. And when it comes to autumn, a little bit like a beech hedge, the leaves all change colour, but generally speaking, this would hold on to its leaves in the winter time.
Yeah, so you've got a bright green foliage there, and then you get the lovely changing as we go into autumn time. It goes into those oranges and coppers, but actually it doesn't always drop those leaves at all. They do tend to hold quite firm, so you've got that interest going over the winter time. It's quite a vigorous grower as well.
Yeah.
And obviously you want that when you're planting hedging. You want it to fill quite quickly. This can grow between 20 and 40 centimetres in a single year, which is really quite
good.
Impressive, isn't it? And actually this can cope in more exposed positions as well. Wildlife love this plant. It provides food supplies for many animals. Springtime you get catkins that are followed by autumn berries, which are loved by the birds. So, not only is it a refuge and a home, but you've got all of that food source for them too.
I honestly sort of regret that I have got a variety of hedges, but I didn't do a hornbeam, and I love it.
Hornbeam's one of the best, I think, for hedging.
I think so. I mean, I did beech, which I think has similar kind of properties, but this is amazing. So if you want to plant a hedge, and you do want it to grow quickly and establish quickly, you've got it right here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pack of 3. If you multi-order it, depending on the size that you've got to fill, you could fill a border so easily. You could create that hedging so cheaply. It's amazing, honestly.
Are you gobsmacked at the value?
I'm genuinely.
Do you know what I meant to do, Bex?
I know. I mean, I've never had to do it myself yet. I'm sure I will at some point in the future. But I know how expensive it can be to create the hedging, and particularly if you've got, 10 metres to fill, that can be really expensive.
I'm just going to search now while we go on to the Trachycarpus what hornbeam normally costs, because that price is ridiculous.
Did you want to do the cherry, Stu, or should we save that one? So yeah, I just wanted to quickly show you it because it is amazing. It's the Sweet Cella Steri. It is £6.99. It's a bare root, so it's going to come to you like this. But you can get this planted into one of our heavy-duty pots, for example, because it's been grafted onto that miniature rootstock. It's never going to get ridiculously tall. We're only ever talking maybe 2.5 to 3 metres at its maximum, but it will produce pounds and pounds and kilos of the sweet cherry, which you are going to enjoy. You might get a couple of cherries in the first year, but really you're planting for the future. Within a few years, and I do mean only maybe 3 years, you will start getting a really decent stock of cherries from this, but it will last you for decades, and it will stay nice and compact because it's been grafted onto that miniature rootstock. So makes it easy for picking. It also makes it easy for protecting those cherries from the birds. £6.29 if you are in the club for that one.
Jim, I'm just look at this, Bex. Just looking at hornbeam.
Yeah.
This is the first company I've gone to in a pot, a 2-litre pot.
Yeah.
Height 60 to 90 centimetres.
Which is about that.
Yeah.
60.
And you've got to buy minimum of 10 plus to get the price here of £8.79 each.
There you go. What was it, £12.49 for 3?
For 3, and even less if you're club member.
There you go.
I knew that hornbeam was really good, seriously.
Such good value, honestly.
Yeah, so I know you might need to go out in your garden and work out how many you need, but do it now and get that amazing price. Right. a beautiful palm for now.
Okay, yeah, the Trachycarpus.
Oh, this one's just...
Adore this one. So it's one of the most hardy ones that you can grow in the UK. So this can cope with temperatures of sort of -10 and maybe even a little bit more than that. So it makes it really, really simple for us to grow in our, UK gardens and across the breadth of the country as well. Obviously, if you're more northern and you get loads of those, you might need to give a little bit of winter protection. But I'm going to say most areas of the country, you can plant it and forget about it. You don't need to worry. If you want it to get really tall, you can let it. This can get 10 metres in height. How tropical and exotic and gorgeous is that? My friends have got one in their garden. I'm going to visit them later. And theirs is a good 10 metres in height. They've had it for that many years. And it's fantastic. The leaves you get on this, those fan-shaped leaves, create beautiful shadows on the ground as well. So it's really lovely to have this in like a seating area when you're outside. Because you get that sort of tropical feel, you get the lovely shadows that it creates, and of course it's evergreen, so it's really lovely to have for year-round interest.
And the fact, we're talking about -10.
Yeah,
so that is,
and even probably a little bit more than that.
So if you compare that to some of the other palms that bring, like the Phoenix canariensis, that's hardest about -6. So it really is a palm that, as Bex was saying, really will suit pretty much all of the UK. I always think they grow really nice as well. They're quite dense. The foliage is quite close together.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful palm.
Award-winning RHS Award of Garden Merit too.
And I know from my own experience, some of my other palms, especially in the winter, the leaves get a little bit more damaged by winds, and this doesn't seem to. So
maybe it's because it grows quite densely.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So it's a beautiful palm, really is. And only $14.99 at 680-208. Right. There's one item you haven't seen so far, and it is our blueberry collection, which you bought. Was it this year or last year?
It was earlier. I planted it earlier on this year. Yeah, it was earlier on this year.
So it's all a blur now, isn't it?
It's all mixing in together. I mean, the growth that's happened. So I got them at this size, and honestly, I've got loads of growth on them. And right now, the colours on the blueberry plants, they really do give the most amazing autumn display to their foliage. I know this is about producing berries. I get that, and we'll come to that. But honestly, as just having an interesting plant in your garden, the colour on them is just fantastic.
And I love the fact that with this collection, you've got a really decent period to actually pick the blueberries, because there's nothing worse. And I know whenever I grow my own, if you get all of the harvest at once, it's like, oh, what do I do with it all? Whereas these have been actually specially put together to give you a longer season of blueberries, because you've got an early, mid and a late, haven't you?
Exactly that, yeah, which is why I went for this collection over and above anything else, because I wanted to make sure that I was extending that blueberry picking season. You can freeze blueberries very, very easily, but I love the idea of just having several more weeks out of that blueberry picking season to go and pick them fresh from the plant so that my husband can have them in his cereal.
And I do think when you have got blueberries outside in the garden and you have that little wander first thing in the morning, you do end up having a healthy start to the day, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. A garden buffet, as Stu's saying. Yeah, I love that.
I do it with my tomatoes even on the morning. I'll sometimes have tomatoes for breakfast.
Absolutely.
But you always get the lovely blossom, of course, as well. You will need some ericaceous compost. And that is really important. They are acid loving. These are the pots they come in. Yeah,
now they're not going to live in here forever.
No.
I will point that out. You could probably put them in here and keep them in here over winter, but then springtime you'll probably be potting them on again, because honestly the amount of growth you get from them in one season is quite
incredible. And you've put yours in heavy duty, haven't you?
Mine are in the heavy duty pots. So look, you will get 3 of these. So those will come with them. They're just a lovely added bonus. Use them for something else if you want to, or use them to temporarily house your blueberries for the time being. But I would recommend getting yourself a triple pack of the heavy duty pots, because then you can put your ericaceous compost in there, your blueberries will live in there forever.
But please don't ignore the advice of buying ericaceous compost.
Yes, blueberries, that's important.
They do need it. They will not do well at all without an acid environment.
Yeah,
they just
it's not
won't.
a likes to have,
no,
they must have.
There are some plants that are like, they prefer an acid, like an Acer likes a little bit of an acid soil, but they absolutely need it, 100%. Right, you've seen everything now. Just quickly, thank you to everyone that's already placed an order.
Yeah, brilliant. Busy day today.
And what amazing prices. But remember, many items, when they've gone, they have gone. And a lot of people do stream the show later on. I know some of you watch live right now.
Yeah, I think Amanda was saying this on Facebook earlier, wasn't she? She's like, oh no, Amanda was saying that she needs to wait for payday. So I'm hoping that those deals will still be available for you, Amanda.
And this show will be uploaded onto our website and on YouTube, of course. And the deals, we are going to keep them for the rest of the week, for another week, I should say. But many items are close to selling out, so do bear that in mind, because the prices are amazing today. And if you can't, these should arrive really quite quickly, because obviously we're not in peak season at the moment. Our delivery is always really fast and efficient, to be fair, but sometimes it's even quicker at this time of the year. But don't think you need to plant everything in the garden straight away. You really don't. And all of these, with the exception, I'm going to say, of the Callistemon, they're all pretty much winter hardy. So you don't need to give any of these extra protection, with the exception of that Callistemon. Now, I've got somebody new in the chat, I believe, Bex.
So Mr. Williamson says he received his pansies and well pleased with them. I like that.
Great.
Well pleased with them. Postage on time and they were well packed. Thank you, great service. Nicola, Stu, are you able to look at Nicola's comment? She's saying something about delivery. We're not sure why that's happening, Nicola, but we will look into it and see if we can sort that out for you.
And she's put the code in, yeah?
You're making sure you put that code in, YGTV4624, where it says on there, do you have an offer code? You need to put in the code YGTV4624. Stu's just saying, you are a regular, so you do know this. Stu's just saying, just double check, because there are some of our fruit trees that do have that postage cost on. But if you've got your order over 40, I'm pretty sure it should knock it off. But we'll see if we can look into it for you, Nicola. If not, what I would suggest doing, unfortunately the phone lines are not open today, but you could email customer services and they'll be able to look into it for you tomorrow morning.
And I'll tell you what you could do, Amanda, if you actually...
Nicola.
Sorry, Nicola. If you could just let Stu know.
Did I say Amanda? Sorry.
Sorry, Nicola. If you let Stu know what's in your basket, that might help him identify it. It must be one particular product that maybe is for some reason causing the promotion not to work. So if you could maybe just take a screen grab of your basket and email it to ygtv@ugarden.com. We'll have a look at it and try and sort it out for you live on the show.
We'll do our best, absolutely.
Because we'd love you to place an order now rather than tomorrow, because some things are selling out, like the beautiful, stunning Physocarpus has sold out. Yeah.
Well done if you got yours. We will replace it with something else on the favourites table. But yeah, let's carry on with what we've got for you in the show.
So sold out. We've had 3 sellouts now, haven't we?
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh my word.
There's the hollyhocks.
Yes.
They're gone.
What was the other one? Was it the ferns?
The lavender.
Oh, of course, lavender. Yeah, that went as well.
That's gone. So we've had 3 sellouts now. Right. What else have we got for you?
Your favourite? Definitely one of mine.
It is. This is the Verbena bonariensis. Bizarrely, I only discovered it about 2.5 years ago. I mean, I knew it, but I only grew it for the first time 2.5 years ago.
Agreed.
And now,
same here.
It is our absolute favourite. It's winter hardy. It is a perennial. It likes a sunny spot. And what it does, it dies back during the winter. And that's what it does in the summer months. And it looks magnificent. A lot of people call it a transparent plant, because what it does, it never ever dominates. So it always, because it's so slender, you can put it amongst any of the plants in your beds and borders, and it just enhances everything. The bees love it, the butterflies love it. It has clusters, thousands of flowers for several months. And what my advice would be is leave those flowers, because they'll be going over now. Leave them on for the winter months.
I like how fast growing it is.
Oh.
So, I mean, this plant is really well established, but even the smaller ones that we do, they can grow to 1 metre, 1.5 metres in one season.
They literally seem to grow overnight sometimes,
Honestly,
don't they?
It's incredible how fast they grow. So just leave it over winter. You don't need to. If you want to tidy it up, you can do. If you're that sort of neat gardener that likes to put your garden to bed over winter, you can do. But to be honest, just leave it and then just prune it and trim it down in springtime once you start seeing new growth coming through, and it will grow to full size again in that one season.
And what I discovered this year is a lot of mine self-seeded. I ended up with about 100 free plants.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love a free plant.
So next year, when I fill my garden next year, you're going to see all of that Verbena over the other side.
Everywhere.
See how dull the back is?
Yeah.
It is dull, isn't it? The back
You
of my
could put
bomb.
some in there and it'll just grow happily
That's where it's
amongst
going.
all those.
That's where it's going.
Very nice.
Because I just don't like the other side of the garden there. Right, Foxglove, you've loved these. Many of you are multi-ordering. Lots of you going for 3s and 5s and 7s and even 9s. These are down from $12.99 to $3.99. And again, they're big. I know if you've ever planted, sometimes I've planted the plug plants when it comes to foxgloves, and in year one, they've only grown fairly short.
Yeah.
Whereas this is already really well established, so it should go to pretty much full height next summer.
Absolutely, and this is the perfect one to be multi-ordering on. You said it earlier, one foxglove on its own looks a bit lonely and lost,
I think
doesn't it?
so, yeah.
I agree. So you do want to, if you can, you know, and I'm sure you can stretch to it at this price, if you can multi-order on this, get 3, get 5, get 7. I mean, that will create a lovely little cluster.
I'm thinking 9, 12, 15.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you
only
could.
Just stop. You could do.
Sometimes mass planting works so well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And repeat planting.
And foxgloves are perfect for doing that. The wildlife, I mean, bees have the best time with these. Little bee bottoms sticking out the back of one of those flowers. It's the Dalmatian variety as well, so you get those lovely little speckled spots going into the flower. It's like a landing pad that tells the bee where to go. Love it.
Ah, for me, they are the perfect kind of country cottage garden plant to have, and ideal for those slightly shady areas at the back of the border. They're magnificent, they really are, and easy. It's pretty hard to go wrong with a foxglove.
Yeah, and sometimes once it's flowered, if you trim it down, you get an extra flower that comes up.
Do you know what I'm thinking as well? Again, I don't think my foxgloves have ever really massively suffered from disease.
No.
No.
And slugs actually don't seem to go for foxgloves too much either, do they?
No. I mean, they might have a nibble, but no. No. But they're easy. They are and beautiful. And they are $3.99. Really popular for those. And we have now got the Agapanthus. But I prefer to call it hairy lip fern.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're childish.
It's the best name.
It is.
And I mean, if you are worried about slugs and snails, then definitely fill some parts of your garden with ferns, because they really don't seem to care about these at all. This one I quite like because this one can cope in a sunny position as well as a shady position. A lot of ferns, they just want to be in shade, whereas this one can probably cope with both. Also, it's evergreen. A lot of ferns, they do die down over winter, but this one, no, you're going to have that all year round. And it's a nice compact one, only ever getting to about 1 foot by 1 foot.
And ferns, I think this last sort of like couple of years, ferns have had a huge renaissance in terms of popularity, because they do cope well with the wetter climate that we're having right now. And I know we've mentioned slugs a lot, but it is important. When you've got a wet environment, slugs love it, don't they? That's why we've had so many problems with slugs. Ferns just will do brilliantly in that damper, wetter environment. They don't want to be waterlogged, I should point that out, but they are absolutely fine in shade and slightly, say, moist environments. But if you do put 2 in your basket and use the code, you will get 2 for $9.99 or £9 for our club members. Right, very busy. Thank you so much to everyone that is confirming their orders. Don't forget, with every order today, you will also get your free gift. And I love it when we do this. I mean, last year we did this promotion a couple of times, and we just stockpiled. We just. I
still got a couple of bags. Because I was rubbish
on
my feeding.
Yeah, that's why. Obviously, I don't think I've got many left. But at one point, I had a big basket in my greenhouse full of these. They are worth $4.99. You'll get it free with every individual order, and that makes 100 litres of premium plant food.
Isn't it?
It's a huge amount.
It's quite a lot.
Your average watering can is between 5 and 10 litres. So you do the maths. That's at least 10 watering cans, but for most of us, probably 20.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, one of my little bugbears is when people buy ready-made plant food. The supermarkets sell it, it's all made up. You buy a litre container, you pay a fortune for it. And I just think, what a waste of plastic.
You're paying for water.
Yeah, and plastic.
Because probably 95% of it is water, so you're just buying the water.
Yeah, and having to look at home. You can make it yourself with this.
Yeah.
And really high, as we keep saying, your NPK, your trace elements and minerals, everything you need. Right, the hornbeam, seriously,
the value that you're getting, if you want to put a hedge in your garden, go for hornbeam. There are so many benefits. The leaves are beautiful, it's fast growing, but also in autumn they change colour magnificently. And although these haven't held on to the leaves, because these are, you know, they're in our nursery, but normally...
Yeah, but once it grows into each other...
Exactly.
And once you've got the hedge formation, you get bright green leaves in the springtime and summertime, and then you get that lovely transformation that happens, and they turn into the oranges and the colours, but then they will hold firm in most areas over the winter months as well, which is perfect, and that's what we want. It is one of the best when it comes to hedging. I think it is just fantastic. And
we have got some little tutorials on our website in terms of how to plant a hedge. I know from my own experience, I did like a front row, and then in between the gaps, I do like a back row, if that makes sense. So like a zigzag of say, well, I did beech, but that's how I planted mine. But we have got all of the instructions on our website. And that is a fast-growing hedge. That is another benefit. It's one of the fastest growing and one of the most beautiful. I think it looks great in a British garden, I really do. 511575. And you are getting, do your own research, go online, but they're not bare roots. They are well established in 3-litre pots. And I looked online and they were the same size, but in 2-litre pots, and they were about £8-9 each. Same size in terms of height, but they're in smaller pots. And they're about £8-9 each. That's really good. Right, loads of orders now coming through. We've seen everything. It is a clearance. We've just had another sellout. The next item to sell out is going to be the Agapanthus.
I'm so surprised this is hanging in there, honestly. I genuinely thought this was going to go in the first hour. It was so busy on Thursday. People were multi-ordering on this. Somebody placed an order for 5 of them, and I can see why.
Works.
Because at that price, to multi-order on this and fill a lovely sunny border somewhere, that's going to be just the best display.
Right, it weighs a ton, I'll let you know.
It does weigh quite a lot.
Yeah, my back's gone again next. The hernia's back.
Now yours probably isn't going to come with that flower on. I mean, the flower stems, I can't get across to you how sturdy that is. It's so strong. But you will get them with all this lovely strappy foliage on here. And I actually really like the foliage on Agapanthus. It stays quite neat looking.
Yeah, and if you look, right, say in this pot here, if you look at how many actual clumps there are 6 clumps. Now, every one of those clumps has potential next summer to produce a flower.
Yep.
So this, you could easily have 6, maybe even 7 of those, like that. And that's how they look magnificent. Agapanthus are, normally they do take quite a few years to get to this size.
Definitely.
This isn't a young plant.
A baby Agapanthus will not flower.
No.
You have to wait several years for it to flower. This is not a baby.
It's a big strapping adult. It is. And at $34.99, great value. $79. Can I just say as well, sometimes you do get, I'm not going to say filled, but you can walk into a garden centre, like the one near me, you see these in flower in summer, and you just go, oh, I'll buy that. Look how beautiful it looks. But actually, it's far better to buy it now, to get it in the clearance and get all of the joy of it next year.
Actually, if you buy it in full flower and then you plant it, you can have a bit of transplant shock
that
will happen.
You really
and then
can.
Those flowers might go over really quickly. I'm not saying it will definitely happen, but we know transplant shock can happen.
Yeah.
Whereas do it now, if it's going to go into any kind of shock, it's got time to deal with that before it's going to give you its beautiful flowers.
I think it's fair to say most plants, perennials, do not want to be planted when they're in full flower.
No.
They really don't.
Absolutely.
So get this now. We've got 7 remaining. If you want to buy all 7, if you want to do a whole board of Agapanthus, I mean, that would be my dream, wouldn't it you?
Oh, yeah.
Really would.
Nice sunny border.
Yeah, sunny border, well-dread. If you are going to just keep this in a pot, in honesty, you don't have to repot it till next year.
You could leave it.
But just go a little bit bigger, not loads, so a couple of centimetres bigger.
That's it.
That's amazing. If you don't buy them, I will. No, seriously, I'm sort of thinking about it.
You've got a sunny border that needs filling, right? You were saying this the other day.
I've got a sunny border that it's just a bit of a mess at the moment. Some things are growing too big, some things are moving.
7 of them, you're done.
I'll be honest, I've got lots of lavender in there and it's gone over.
There you go.
But I'd love to, and they do really well. Okay, there you go.
Sold.
No, we'll save some. If there's some left, I will go for those.
All right, next up we've got our hibiscus. This one is called Sugar Tip. Now, we love hibiscus. Hibiscus is one of the best plants to have in your garden, particularly the hardy varieties, which this one is, for giving you that late flowering season. They tend to flower right the way through into October, which means that we're extending that summer period of flowering. But this one has got a couple of extra bits to it, which makes it a standout variety. First, you've got double flowers in there. So they're double, they're ruffled, they're beautiful. I love that shade of pink as well. It's so pretty. But it's not just about the flower. You're actually going to get gorgeous foliage as well. This one's got that variegated foliage, so that extra layer of interest for you.
I cannot remember any other hibiscus we've had on New Garden TV that's variegated. Can you?
No.
No, I don't think there is one.
I don't think there is one.
No. This is an absolute beautiful hibiscus.
It's gorgeous.
It is. And I say, I'm like looking at my hibiscus now in my head and thinking,
you're boring.
well, they're not bored, but
I want a different one.
Yeah, mine are not doubles and not variegated. I still love them. And hibiscus, for me, when a lot of perennials are dying down, like when your lupins have gone over, and I was thinking about Mum's garden, she's got a whole border, it's got lupins and it's got poppies, and they're all dying back as this just suddenly bursts into flowers. It's like July onwards normally. And they're so easy to grow as long as you've got that sunny spot. Well-drained soil. Winter hardy. They're not like some of the hibiscus you see in the Mediterranean that will not tolerate anything near 0 degrees. They're fully winter hardy as well. But they are quite magical. To me, they look quite, they are quite exotic looking.
Yeah, I like the way they grow as well. They sort of naturally grow into that lovely sort of open and goblet shape,
right.
which means that there's very minimal pruning for you to do.
Yeah.
Because it's getting light, it's getting air into the centre there, and they just get covered in flowers. So many flowers that you get on the hibiscus. The flowers themselves don't last forever, but you get so many of them that it really doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, you still get 2 to 3 months of flowers. I always say this, but it is true. They lose their leaves in the winter and they do not get back into leaf until late. They're actually probably one of the latest or the latest plants come back into leaf. So do not panic when it gets to like April and there's no leaves on it. Don't think, oh, it's died. Sometimes it does take to May for them to get back into leaf, but it is worth the wait. So that's a hibiscus sugar tip at just $9.99, normally £25. Again, at these prices, you might want to go for 3 of them. I'm really trying to do a bit more repeat
planting.
Yeah. I don't mind telling you, because I had lots of plants in pots, but I just literally, in some of my borders, I just put in what I had. But now I'm like, I really like that, so I want more of them.
Yeah.
And like, I really don't like that, so that needs to be moved over there. Something that do look good, actually in pairs, I'm going to say cordylines.
Yes.
They look great in pots, either side of doors, pathways that we saw earlier. Is the lime passion still in the lead, Stu? Yeah.
Still the favourite, yeah. I mean, look, they both work really well together. So if you fancy going for both of these, then I think you've got the lovely variegation and the lime green colour that you've got with the lime passion, and then you've got the beautiful burgundy that you've got with the little red star that we've got here. But this is one of the slightly bigger varieties, so this can grow 1.5 meters, maybe even 2 meters in height. As the leaves fade at the bottom, all you do is remove those. You'll either pull them off once they fade or snip them off. Then that forms a trunk under here, so you get the lovely sort of tall, slender stem. Did I say slender stem?
Something like that. I love it when we go wrong, don't you? It's great, isn't it?
The slender stem. And then this beautiful foliage up at the top here. But it also means you can underplant as well, so you can get loads and loads of colour going on underneath there too.
Now, I will say...
That looks great.
It does.
It won't live in there forever.
No, I'd maybe put in something bigger, but it would be happy in there for the first year or two.
Yeah, definitely.
They're actually, cordylines are actually pretty resilient things. And I was just doing a bit of random research, and there's so many extraordinary things about them actually. Oh, can I just show you? Did I send my pictures to you?
Oh yeah, I'll get it.
I just wanted to explain like what cordylines do, and I've got lots of different ones in my garden. And when these get mature, they will grow a tall stem, so they look a bit like a palm tree. But also sometimes you do that. So that one there was a single cordyline. It does need all the brown leaves at the bottom taken off. That is what happens naturally. So don't panic. The older leaves go brown. You take them off. But mine became. I chopped mine right down. It was too tall, so it became like multi-stemmed.
Ah, okay.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
But it still looks good, doesn't it? It does. I know it needs a brown leaves taken off, Bex, at the bottom. That's a job for this week. You actually see me do. You know that heavy duty pot video we've got. You actually see me doing that a few months ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
There it is.
So I did do it, but that was a couple of months ago. Got some multiple off now. And then have you got the one with the tall stem, Bex? Again, mine are quite, but these cordyline are quite boring compared to this one.
No, that's all you sent me. Oh no, you didn't. Sorry. There we go.
So that is how they grow, and you get the tall stem like that. Again, I know I need to take the bottom leaves off. But can you see how they end up looking like a bit of a palm tree?
Yeah, I love it. I like that look, particularly planted into borders. I mean, mine's still in the heavy-duty pots, but I've just put the heavy-duty pot in the border, so it looks like it's planted there.
So I'm just laughing. I look so dopey on that. I took that
you
this
look like
morning.
you've just woken up.
I had just woken up. Yeah, I just woke up. Look at how crinkled up face is.
You've definitely still got sleepy eyes.
I can say, look at them like this. But I just want to show. So that's how they actually go. But my cordylines look quite boring compared to this one, don't they? This is more vibrant. To me, it's got lots of different colours in it: lime green, cream, darker greens. But a beautiful, beautiful plant at $6.99. I think that is amazing value. Really do. And then the other one we've got is a little red star, a little bit more compact, this one. Beautiful kind of burgundy red foliage. Now again, these are very easy to grow, but if it's particularly cold in the winter, little tip, if it's going to be like heavy snow, lots of frost, just tie it up and put a little bit of fleece around it. That would protect the crown. But great coastal areas.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, they do. And also slightly exposed gardens like mine. I live in like the middle of the country, but coastal gardens, these look amazing, don't they?
Definitely. Just want to say a quick good morning to Olwyn, who's just joined the chat. She said
sorry
she hasn't been around for a little. She's not been feeling very well.
Oh, sorry, Olwyn.
Sorry about that,
we were chatting about you earlier, weren't we?
Thank you
Where's
for coming
Olwyn?
in and seeing us.
Thank you, Olwyn.
We'd love to have your company.
So I hope you're on the mend.
She says she's doing all right.
Good, good. Right, compost. Hey, have you noticed neither of us have got colds this morning?
You've just jinxed it.
So right, this is really weird. So on Thursday, because Bex has had two colds in a row, right?
Two colds right in a row, yeah.
And I was like, oh, I never get colds. And then on Thursday, right, I seriously thought I was coming down.
Sneezy.
I thought I was coming down with more than a cold, to be honest. Sneeze. I mean, Stu, you were with me. I sneezed all afternoon, didn't I? And I went to bed that night thinking, I'm going to wake up really ill tomorrow. And do you know what, the next day...
Felt fine.
It's like... Honestly,
you've got a great constitution.
I don't know what it was, but I mean, if you watched, I was like, but anyway, no. See, it's all that red wine, Bex.
That's what it is. I'm going for it. I think red wine, it's the cure.
There was some article about red wine being good for you, but in moderation.
Actually, there was an article about red wine being good for menopausal symptoms because there's something in it that can help. So I was like, I'm
worth a try.
I'm going to bathe in it.
Because you know drink white, don't you?
I do, but only because it discolours your teeth. I love a red wine. Love a red wine.
Yeah.
I just don't drink too much of it because it makes your teeth all funny.
I'm amazed my teeth aren't purple because I drink.
Yours are quite good.
I drink this all the time. Have you noticed? And I do have the odd glass of red wine. Anyway, we digress. Compost. 125. This is our best-selling, highest-rated product on the U Garden website. It's a compost that we use on the nursery to pot up all of our bare root roses, ready-made hanging baskets, any plants that are repotted, they're potted in this. And we always say you can use this for pretty much everything from seeds all the way through to trees. So any of the perennials you buy today, get this, and as you dig that potting hole, just mix a bit in. Any of the containers that you're making up, again, use this compost. The only things it's not suitable for are acid-loving plants. And the only one we've got on the show, two, we've got the blueberries and the azalea, and that's it.
Yeah, that's all. So everything else, even your houseplants, you can repot into this compost. It's packed with amazing ingredients. There is some peat in here, so minimal amounts though. Some of it's renewable, some of it isn't, but we've really reduced it down to use the minimum amounts but still get the maximum results. We've got a slow-release fertiliser, those little green balls in there. That is going to feed your plants for a good probably 4 to 6 months once you first plant them in there. But it genuinely is the best compost. You know it, all the regulars, I know you use it. There's so many of you, Olwyn, you call it the gold medal product.
It is.
You hate it when you run out of it. We hate it when we run out of it as well because we know how superior this is in comparison to those other ones.
And I tell you what, today you've got a bit of a double whammy because we've still kept the price at $24.98. Most of you are club members, so you'll get it for $22.48. You'll also get free delivery, so you don't have to drive down to the nursery or drive down to the big DIY store. And actually, Buying compost is the most unpleasant thing, isn't it? It's not easy. There's nobody. I don't know about you. I'm getting myself. There's never any staff to help nowadays, is there?
Nope, never.
You know, you're not going to get to find somebody that's actually going to put your compost on your trolley for you is probably pretty rare.
Yeah, then put it into your car for you and lift it out of your car at the other end. This gets delivered to your door.
There's no
free
staff
of charge.
anymore, is there? You're lucky if you've got one person on a checkout. So we do all of that for you, but also we are going to give you your free blooming fast today, which is worth $4.99, and that will make 100 litres of premium plant food. You're not going to use it a lot during the winter, but you can easily use that next year and probably even the year after as well. Sometimes you get a use by date, but normally it's at least a couple of years.
For ages, honestly.
So if you want to go for the compost today, then it is only $22.48 for club members, and you get a £5 gift with it as well. But it is a superb compost. And I know, like, I planted the whole pub garden recently and used all, everything's in this compost. And it's amazing how quickly it's grown in 4 weeks. Really is.
That's the difference this compost will make, for sure.
Yeah. We think it makes you a better gardener instantly, basically.
So many people, you talk, honestly, I get that question a lot, what is so special about that compost? And it is the years and years worth of formulation, the amount of work that's gone into it. It's quite simple formulation, but it's in exactly the right quantities to make sure that you get the results.
And it has, as Beck said, it's still got peat in it, and we have reduced that, but it's actually quite hard to find a compost nowadays with peat in it. And a lot of the peat-free you may have been disappointed with. I've tried quite a few now, and I think they'll get there, and they are getting there, but I've still had sometimes very mixed results.
Yeah.
I used one this year, and it wasn't a garden one, but I did an experiment, and it just dried out all the time. So anyway, if you want our compost today, 100, 125, 22.48 and 22.48 if you are a club member.
Couple of mulch options for you. So we'll start off with the bark mulch first of all. Now this one is, there's a few different reasons to go for this one, isn't there? It neatens up borders, it suppresses weeds in the borders. It can help to retain moisture in the borders as well. But at this time of year, the reason that you probably want to get hold of this is because it's going to add that extra layer of protection. The winter duvet, wrap those plants up nice and warm so that you can ensure you get the results next year.
I used it recently just for some of my containers, and you can use it even in small pots. If you've got we saw the pictures of the hellebores earlier, didn't we?
Yeah.
So just around some of your pots, it just neatens it up and it stops the weeds, and I think it makes plants stand out more rather than having mud surrounding plants. I hate seeing brown in the garden. I don't want to see soil. I don't.
Yeah. No, I get it. Adam does get upset about that. If he could ever see a tiny patch of soil, he has to plant something in it because he hates to see it.
These two containers I really struggled with, and those euonymus have been in there years, and they've just sapped the life out of the container. I can't be bothered to take them out because they're just so well rooted in there. But whenever I tried to do bedding around them, it just struggled.
Yeah.
Weeds kept appearing. Customers kept putting fag ends in there. I wish I was joking. So I've just tidied it all up. And to me, those three euonymus suddenly stand out, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
It looks good, doesn't it?
They do.
Yeah.
It's great for play areas in the garden, for lining pathways, or even putting down, in wider borders where you've got to step in there. It stops you from getting all the mud stuck to your shoes and things. So lots and lots of reasons to go for that one.
And again, postage included, $13.49 for club members. Just use that off code YGTV4624. And then another option we've got for you is our stuff. She's got great reviews, actually.
Yeah, really good reviews. So it'll do all the same things as that, but with an added extra. So it'll be that duvet protection. It will suppress weeds. It will help to retain moisture. But the reason to go for this one might be because of that extra protection you need from the slugs and snails, because they just don't like this. It's a really nice environmentally friendly way of keeping them away from the plants that they enjoy. So if you've got hostas, if you're getting the Brunnera, the fresh new growth that you get on delphiniums, there's loads of plants that slugs and snails love to munch on. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet, but this is going to help to deter them.
And it is natural.
Keep them in your garden.
It's organic. It's difficult nowadays with slugs because we do tend to have a wetter climate. So this is a brilliant natural alternative. Without using pellets, without using dangerous chemicals. Looks great as well, neatens everything up, but as Bex has just said, has so many uses, and it's not a one-trick pony. This is a beneficial product for your garden. And weed suppressing, retaining moisture, improving soil structure, flowers, shrubs, fruit and veg, obviously deterring the slugs and snails. A brilliant product with fantastic reviews. Now, very important, because we are having a mega show today. We need you, first of all, to put your code in, because that unlocks all of the clearance prices today. And it is a genuine clearance sale today. When items are gone, they're gone. You get your free gift still, even though it's a clearance, you get your free gift with every single order. You're blooming fast, but you need to use the code YGTV4624. But thank you for all of the orders today. But you've got some amazing plant bargains, you really have. Now, also, we have got a lot of you going for our Russian sage, the Perovskia. And I'm really drawn to this because I love lavender, but my lavender has got a little bit woody. This, in terms of position, exactly the same as lavender. So full sun, well drained, will tolerate poor soils beautifully, but it's a completely different scent. I mean, I love lavender, but some people go, oh, lavender. This is sage, but it's like it's a citrusy sage.
It's a citrus scent, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's really, really nice.
Yeah.
So as you brush past it, the foliage will release this lovely sort of sagey citrus scent. It's quite fresh, it's quite lovely. But this one will get a little bit taller than lavender. So although it likes all of the same kind of places and you still get those spikes of flowers, this can get up to 1 metre in height. But it is that perfect alternative to lavender. Again, I love lavender. I love the scent of lavender, but some people absolutely hate it. But you still want that look of lavender. You can have that with this one. It's really nice and easy. It's drought tolerant when it gets established. Bit of pruning back, on an annual basis. That will ensure that you get loads and loads of those beautiful pollinator-friendly flowers coming through.
But unlike lavender, with this one you can prune right into the wood. Because my lavender, I know I've just not pruned it well enough this last year.
Yeah, it gets leggy.
Yeah,
and that's
it's
a
woody
problem.
and leggy.
Yeah.
Anyway, love the idea of that. 3 of them, £8.99. 560949. Right, something that I absolutely recommend is a Sambucus, the Sutherland Gold.
Yeah, particularly if you want to fill a gap really quickly. Sambucus is great for doing that because it's got quite vigorous growth.
Stu, have you got a picture of my Sambucus, the black lace? Only because it's a different variety, but it's still a Sambucus, and I planted it in my garden only about, well, I've only lived in the house 4 years, so it's got to be about, I'd say, 3.5 years maybe. And I planted it because, as Bexa said, it's fast growing, it's quite vigorous, it's easy. And when it's covered in foliage, and so I've got this version, and I've got the black one as well, but you'll see it's magnificent, and you get white flowers, and you get berries as well. What is not to love?
There's so much to talk about with this one, honestly. I mean, it's got the colours that you get from it, and when you see it in summertime in the sunshine, the way that it glows is incredible.
Right, we've got the one in my garden just to show you.
I do love the black lace. It's so nice, isn't it?
And it's only been in there, it's got to be less than 4 years.
Yours is growing so well.
Yeah.
Honestly, mine's struggling because of the clay soil, I think.
That doesn't get a lot of sun there either. It gets some, but doesn't
That's so good.
Isn't it? But I chop that down to probably about 90 centimetres in the spring. So
every year?
Yeah, I have to. Because all the plants underneath, they just... Yeah. What I tend to do in springtime, I chop it all right back, and then the plants around it, and most of them are ferns and things. That poor flax that needs moving, isn't it? But yeah, they're brilliant. But this is a golden variety with all of those benefits. 511494. When it arrives, it might have a few leaves on it. It may have lost its leaves. It is deciduous, but you will get the most incredible golden foliage next year. You really will. Right.
Sorry, I was just a bit mesmerised by that then. I was just staring at the footage. It's so pretty.
So are you going to buy the Callistemon?
I could buy the Callistemon. I could definitely find space for that one. Is your list a bit big now? I've got so many things. The Callistemon is a really pretty one because this is one Shaun and I did not know, and it's got these lovely sort of white but greeny, limey coloured flowers on here. And we love the bottle brush flowers. There's something very tactile, very lovely about them. Pollinators absolutely adore them. It's an evergreen plant as well, but plus this will stay a little bit more compact, only ever getting to about 1 metre by 1 metre, which is way more compact than other Callistemon.
Well, I'm just going to buy it because I've never tried this variety, the honeypot.
Yeah.
In fact, I tell you what, I'm going to buy my friend Matt one of these as well. I've got a gardening friend, Matt, who we always like to sort of like treat each other. And I know he's got a red Callistemon, so he'll love this one. And as we've said, a bit more compact, only goes to about 1 metre. We'll need that extra bit of winter protection.
Yes, that's the important bit, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, when it's more established, we always say it's about -4, but in its first few years, with it being not a full adult yet, you want to give it that little bit of extra protection. But they are evergreen, and they're going to produce those really wonderful, like bottled brush flowers in May, June, and July time. This is also on the list.
It's the Sempervivum.
Yes.
Chick charms. We love a chick charm, don't we? The house leeks is what they were also called as well. And there's loads of them that you can collect, but this one is a particularly colourful variety, particularly I think at this time of year. We're getting those, I mean, it's such a golden colour to the centre, and then those shades of green that you're getting, and then the tips that are those pink and burgundy colours. And there's so many plants on the one here. Now, they're all a little bit different on the nursery, but you're bound to get one with multiple chicks attached.
And let's be honest, if you were brave, you could actually divide that whole plant up.
Into so many different ones.
Yeah, you could.
Absolutely, yeah.
You really could.
You get loads of them.
You could.
And the thing is, once you've got them, they're so easy to look after. They barely need any watering. They're incredibly drought tolerant. What they ask is to be in a really nice sunny spot, basically.
Right, do you know what? I've thought of an idea.
Go on.
I'm going to buy that, and I'm going to do exactly that.
Let's separate them all
and
out.
Film it. Is that all right, Stu?
Yeah, let's do it.
And, well, I mean, Stu, you'll film it better than me, but no, I'll do it. Whatever, I'm going to buy one and just do that.
Yeah.
And track the progress.
Perfect.
Yeah, it'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Oh, I quite fancy
and then
doing
I could
that
get,
as well.
and then I could give you some.
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
I like it. Let's do it.
But I
It's
love.
only $3.99 as
know,
well,
I mean-
guys. So you could, I mean, from that one plant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 with the centre. There's probably about 15 plants in that one right there.
So that's gardening on a budget, isn't it? $3.99, 560 534. Start confirming your orders. Obviously, we've had 3 sellouts. Some other items now are getting low in stock. But it is a clearance show, and it's an amazing show.
Perovskia is going to be the next one to go.
Is it?
I think it's that spot, isn't it, on the favourites table? If we put it there, that seems to go quite quickly.
And do you know what? I know there's not enough left for me now, but I was seriously tempted to do a whole where all my lavenders, to dig it up and just replace it with that.
Perovskia?
Yeah, just for change as well.
Why not?
But there's not enough for me now, so this time.
All right, we're moving on to the bugless, the Jack Frost. Brunnera is what I know them
We've
as.
made up a few words between us today, haven't
So
we?
you're doing all right today, aren't they? It is just £4.49 in the club. Now, I'm
Stu
going to
just
say it
called
again.
us language murderers.
I
been a busy show.
have always adored this plant for years. Honestly, for probably about 4 or 5 years, I've looked at this thinking, I want to get one of those. But whenever I've seen them in the garden centres, they've just been too expensive. For some reason, they are an expensive plant. And they've just always been out of my price range. But they are just £4.49 to me today because I am a club member. So this might be something that you want to multi-order on. Works great in a shady spot. So this is perfect for you to plant with your ferns and things. It is herbaceous perennial, or deciduous perennial, I should say. So it's going to drop its leaves, but it's then going to spring back into life. And in springtime, you will get those peppering of those purple flowers, which is the perfect complement to those leaves, isn't it? The foliage is just
to me,
incredible.
that is like a really big bonus.
It is.
Yeah, because a lot, not all, but like things like the ferns earlier, they're not going to flower, of course they're not. So to get a shade-loving plant that also has the joy of those flowers is quite magnificent. I think it's lovely, really do. I can see why that's been really popular.
I love it.
And it is, say, it's dying down now because it's obviously we're into mid-November, but next spring you'll get all of that new growth, and in summer it's going to look absolutely magical.
It's got a lovely fuzzy feel to the foliage as well. There's some, it's quite tactile. It's quite soft.
And that is a half
It's like
price.
kiwi skin. It's got that kind of texture to it. It's lovely. So 561053 is the item number. It's a half price deal. You're saving £5 on there. It's £4.99 or £4.49 if you're in the club. You just need to use that offer code in order to get your deal. It's YGTV4624. You'll get that, and you'll get a bag of our Blooming Fast fertiliser, which is worth £5. For free.
I know.
So that if that's just the one order you're placing, you will pay postage on that, but that's free, and that's only a £5. Brilliant.
Now, we are rapidly running out of time. I can't hear Stu, can you?
Are you talking, Stu? There you go. He is talking.
Oh.
We couldn't hear that.
We couldn't hear that.
Erigeron is available for you. It's in the 3 9-centimetre pots. We know how amazing this is because we've got this in our gardens. It flowers for months and months on end.
I mean,
comes into flower about April, May time, and it's still looking incredible right now.
It's one of the few plants in my garden that is still
looking really good.
I've got a whole area covered in it. And it's great for ground cover. It's great if you've got like soils that are poor, like gritty soils. It can even grow. I mean, you'll see it sometimes growing out of walls and pavements and cracks. So the poorest of conditions just likes a sunny spot. And I said it earlier, the individual flowers, they're not like, wow, amazing. But when you see it en masse and you've got all the different shades of pink and whites, it actually is really quite spectacular.
Yeah, it's not it's not the showstopper. It's not the one that's going to steal the show, but it's the chorus line.
Think of it like me, Bex. You know, I'm never going to steal the show, looks-wise, but you know, I'm steady, reliable,
hard-working.
Yeah, and I look kind of okay. No, but that looks more than okay because actually it is impressive. Jokes about en masse, which they can. Each plant can grow to even up to a metre. It really does look impressive. It's lovely.
It does indeed.
Right, what else have we got?
Another one that looks amazingly impressive is the Verbena bonariensis, and it's such a vigorous growing plant. You know, you plant this, which is quite a big one, by the way, the 17-centimetre pot, but you plant that, within one season, it will get to 6 feet in height. It can get up to 2 metres, and it spreads so freely as well because it's self-seeds. You get loads and loads of free plants from this.
And we do know how important it is to encourage the pollinators into our gardens. That is one of the very, very best for those pollinators.
Yeah, definitely.
It's brilliant.
It's got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit and their badge of perfect for pollinators. That's how good this is at bringing those pollinators into your garden.
Now, again, I would not just buy one.
No.
One on its own would look a little bit odd. You saw in my garden, they do look best en masse. I'd go for 3, 5, 7 or 9 of those.
At $3.99 as well.
I know, you could do.
Look at the size of it, and let me just do this for you so you can see how rooty it is. I mean, that is raring to grow, isn't it? That's been planted in our compost as well, by the way. You can see how good that is.
Do you know what? I'm pretty sure we did plug plants that worked out a similar price to that.
Yeah.
I think we did. Did we do 3 plug plants for about? We might have done 3 plug plants for $9.99.
Something like that. Yeah.
But that's a full established Verbena bonariensis. Honestly, once you've got this in your garden, you will think, why didn't I have it years ago? It's amazing. Right, we've also got the hairy lip fern. So why am I giggling?
I don't know. Because it's hairy lip fern and you're a child. That's why.
These are really beautiful ferns. They are evergreen, so they are not going to die down during the winter. Very little maintenance. I mean, all you do with something like this, right? You see a couple of fronds there.
Yeah.
I
mean, there's so little maintenance. Occasional fronds that will just go a little bit over, and you just remove those. Very, very simple to do. But other than that, it's pretty low maintenance.
And to be honest, our team here would have probably taken those off before they get used. That's just a little bit, going over. That is pretty much it.
Yeah, it's evergreen. It's nice and compact. Only getting to about 1 foot by 1 foot. So this is front of the border. And yeah, unlike some other ferns that do die down, that are herbaceous or deciduous, this one is going to keep its leaves all year round.
And ferns go back millions of years, so they are so resilient. These are real warriors in the garden. And I always think that weeds are an absolute nightmare. Nobody really wants weeds in the garden. These underneath shrubs and plants in your garden, they'll stop those leaves coming out, those weeds rather, and just give you the most beautiful foliage all year round. And that one is a compact, low-growing one as well, 561204. And if you double up, you get 2 for $9.99. Right, you've loved the Lime Passion.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, are you?
I'm not surprised. It's £6.99, and just look at the size of the plant that you're going to be receiving. That price does not match the size of the plant that you're getting. And these last so long, don't they?
I'd expect that to be at least £20, and that is the RRP. £6.99 is the price you're going to pay today. You could really get 3 for the price of 1 on those. We do class this as winter hardy, so it has got the symbol on our website saying winter hardy, but we will say if it's a particularly cold winter, what you want to do is just tight up, not all winter long, but if you look at the weather forecast, it's like, oh, it's going to be, -6, -7, and we're going to have heavy snow. If you just tie it up and put a fleece around it, it will just help to protect the crown. And then when the weather gets a little bit better, just do that.
Yeah, so easy. Real height and contrast you're getting with that one. A quick one for you on the cherry, the sweet cherry Stella. This is a bare root. It will come to you wrapped. All you have to do is unwrap that, soak it in a bucket of water, plant it. Our heavy duty pots would be perfect. This has been grafted onto the miniature rootstock. That's the grafting point there. You'll plant it to about there. Leave the graft point above the compost. Once you've done that, you will get sweet cherry blossom in springtime. You will get cherries after that as well. First year you might get a couple of cherries, but this is very much about planting for the future. So in a couple of years' time, you'll really start to get that cherry production, and it will be prolific once it gets going.
And we've said it several times, but look at the actual shape of the tree, multi-branched. It's not a whip. It's not just single stem. So it's going to create a beautiful cherry tree. You might even next year, you will really start to appreciate the blossom. As Beck says, you may get a few cherries, but year 2, year 3, I mean, it'll be funny, $6.99. You'd pay more than that probably for a punnet of cherries, wouldn't you?
Definitely.
I love cherries, don't you?
Definitely.
I think
it's one of my faves.
I know, but it's sadly one of the most expensive fruits. I can eat a punnet of cherries in like that, can't you? Right, we are nearly out of time. The clearance has been amazing today.
Loved it.
You can order after the live stream finishes, but remember, we have got a few items that are limited stock and some that have sold out. So here's a quick reminder. Phlox, the Pediculata collection, 561266, £8.99 for all 3 of those stunning, stunning perennials. Then we had the Foxgloves.
Love a Foxglove. Think about multi-ordering these because they look a bit lonely on their own. It is only £3.99, £3.59 in the club, 511553.
Now a winter beauty next. We have got the Cornus, the Annie Winter Orange, dogwood as it's often called. So you get lovely foliage, you get flowers, but you also get, as it loses its leaves, the most dramatic red and orange, stems to the actual Cornus there. 511012.
Something a bit unusual, a Callistemon, but not what we know as Callistemon. This one has the kind of limey green flowers on it, pollinator rich and nice and compact, only getting to about 1 metre by 1 metre. Needs a little bit of winter protection, but that would be super easy to do. Only £3.99 or £3.59 in the club, 511556.
Then we have got the Heuchera next. Lovely variety, this one. Silver scrolls, stunning foliage. It will flower, of course, as well. Great for that semi-shady spot as well, and very easy to grow. And also another kind of ground cover one, 561255 1197.
The Chick Charm or the Sempervivum with just a range of colours that you're getting here. A great, easy, low care, low maintenance plant for you to have in your garden. Of course, it's evergreen. You don't even need the richest of soil at all. Just don't let them get waterlogged, and you'll have these in your garden for many, many years because they constantly produce little babies. 560534. It's only £3.99.
Then the most stunning hibiscus, it really is. It's called Sugar Tip. I mean, it's a double flowering one, it's not a single. It's got variegated foliage. We have never seen that before. And it is down from £24.99 to under £10 today. £8.99 for you 45,000 club members. 501073.
The potted rose, the Wellbeing. This one is from Harkness, a multi-award-winning company that have been breeding roses for years. This is exactly the kind of rose that wins awards at all of those amazing flower shows. 531009. It's a potted rose in a 3-litre pot, ready to be delivered to you. £13.49 or £12.14 in the club.
And now also really popular today, another shade-loving plant, and it is the Jack Frost. Love shade, heart-shaped leaves, will flower, of course, as well. These very, very delicate, almost like forget-me-not flowers, and that is only £4.90. It's really nice. Will die down in winter, but it will be amazing next spring and summer.
And the hornbeam. Oh my word, the price that you're getting on this. You're going to get 3 3-litre pots for £12.49. That's not £12.49 each, that's £12.49 for 3 pots. So it breaks down to just over £4 each, which if you are looking to create a hedge, to create a border, you can do it so cost effectively here. It's 511575. Just have a little think about how many you need and multi-order on that if you can, because that is a killer deal right there.
It really is, and now's a great time to actually plant a hedge. It really is. Now also the Acer. Now remember, it's an Acer with a difference. This is one of the most exquisite in terms of foliage, with pinks and greens and creams, but the actual stems of this, the new growth is red, so it looks a bit like the Cornus we saw earlier. Really impressive, one of the faster growing ones, and one of the biggest. It can grow to 3 meters or so. 511520.
Oh, the Trachycarpus. I love this one. So beautiful, hardy fan palm, probably the hardiest of the fan palms. This can cope with -10 and maybe even a little bit more than that in temperatures. It's a £10 saving on here. Really nice, dense growth you get and beautiful shadows created. Can get really nice and tall to about 10 meters if you allow it to. 680208. You can keep it shorter if you keep it in a pot, by the way.
And then a very, very unusual azalea. Years of breeding to create the azalea star style, where the actual foliage mirrors the flowers, and it's the most impressive kind of bright crimson. Low growing, so it'll only go to about 40-50 centimetres, but it will spread widthwise. Does need an ericaceous compost. 511393.
Oh, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Still loads of you watching us. You need to go to the website to have a little look. So go to yougarden.com. There's a little button that says live now. Might be at the top, might be at the bottom, depending on what you're watching it on. That's where you can scroll through and see everything. The top tip is to enter the offer code straight away, because then when you're scrolling, you can see all of the amazing prices that you will get here. So these prices will hold firm for about another week, but they won't be keeping them going for too long. So it is important to get your orders placed as soon as you can.
And 3 final messages. That is your free gift with every single order. It is a blooming fast. That will make 100 litres of our best-selling premium plant food.
That's a lot.
Free postage when you spend over £40. If you don't, we cap the postage at $6.99. And what's the show been about?
Clearance!
Yay!
Unmissable deals. If you don't get the Agapanthus
right
now, I'm afraid it's not going to be in stock for too much
we
longer
are
at all.
that close to selling out.
It's so going to go.
And actually, look, let's be honest, a lot of people will have this sitting in the baskets now.
Yeah.
So many of you do obviously check out after the live stream has finished. Right, we are going to have a little break.
Have a little wee.
Yeah. Yeah, so we can stop moving like this. And we are back. If you want to watch us this afternoon, we're going to be in the greenhouse where all the houseplants are kept. And we're going to do TikTok live for 2 hours.
Yeah, we're going to have houseplants and outdoor plants on there as well. So come and join us in an hour from 1 to 3.
Thank you so much to everybody. It's been lovely as ever. For myself, Shaun and Bex, we'll see you soon.